up?
I need that sports encyclopedia. We at Steve Kim. Got Trent in the cut.
Coach JB.
Yeah. Where you at, man? In the gym shooting, I'm Durant. You ain't shooting John Morant.
Darnell is the Ball State legend. I'm the Warren Central High School legend.
I'm proving with a reliable source, straight from the mouth of the horse. Smitty and JB and Smitty from West Coast to Yost.
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
Better stay in your lane. Hop into
You are fucking insane. Dude, what? You just will not give this guy his flowers. What is wrong with you?
Oh, you must have thought I was a bitch.
I am him. Use not it. What's the topic? With your logic when I flow. Big Komodo, how it's talking.
You gotta get back to letting the baby cry a little bit to see if they can soothe themselves.
That's a bar.
Issues get pressed so fast it don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
I identified him after his third fight and I said that guy should be a star.
I'm so proud of the show, bro.
The gas, Smitty and Jason Brown.
Coach JB Show.
Google, homie. What up? We are live in the building. It is Merciless Monday, and I'm taking no mercy from no one, from nobody. We are live in the building. Pound the like, subscribe, become a member. It is Merciless Monday, and I'm ready to give you all the smoke. We got it all here on the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty. So I'm here for it. You need to become a member today. Subscribe and become a member of the Discord Slap Nation. Download the Discord app and then find Slap Nation. You can get into the Discord with us. Text us every single day. We have a hell of a show today. Big Matt McChesney joins us, talk NFL free agency and trades. Jeff Nadu talks March Madness, both men and women. He's going to join us, talk about prop bets and all your bets for March Madness. We'll do a bracket together as well. But first of all, let me get into brass tacks. Mediocrity is the new excellence, and it is what I say frequently on this show. Nashville, Tennessee has now lowered the standards on becoming a policeman, or should I say police woman. This is now the new norm in our once great country, or should I say what made our country great. We used to have standards, and we were held to those standards. Now, once something gets tough, the tough no longer gets going. We are lowering the standards on becoming a policeman for women. Yet some of you truly believe women belong coaching in the NFL. Make it make sense. We are a please everyone ass generation without making folks flat out earn what they get. It's a joke. Our country was once the greatest in the world. It still may be, but it isn't what it once was. It was not mediocre. The standards we set forth, the discipline we once had, the cultures we created is what made us great. Now we are a zombie apocalypse waiting to happen. Sad, sad day to have to say all this. I'm always a proud American, but not proud to be in America. Now to sports. Justin Fields traded to the Steelers for a conditional pick. Steeler fanboys, TikTok fanboys, as I call them, quickly switch up their newfound savior quarterback, Justin Fields, and Russell Wilson. Again, proving my point on who is out there pushing narratives around that some of you guys actually listen to and believe because they have a TikTok account. Can't wait to dive into that and show you. Lakers-Warriors game ends in absolute jokingly fashion. A decent game gets killed by referees and clock issues, etc. What a joke this NBA has become. I have a theory on the NBA, by the way, that I just realized watching the Lakers-Warriors game at the very end with the very, very astute basketball coach, Division I coach, happened to come by my house. We were watching it together. And I said, she made some great points. I'm going to dive into that. But what a joke the NBA has become. And I just realized and glad that I don't watch much anymore. And that proved to me, she proved to me why I won't be watching again after this absolute shit show era. We'll dive into it. NCAA March Madness selection Sunday came and gone. And Jeff Nadu will be here to join us to break it down. Plus, how a fired coach gets his team into March Madness. Bruno Mars owes MGM $50 million. But why do I give a shit? We're going to dive into that too. But before we begin, my wonderful co-host, esteemed co-host, Ball State legend, Naptown's finest, 317 Far East Side great, and AR5 defending, Lamar Jackson loving, LeBron hairline having, Fox Sports very own, Big Smitty. Welcome him in. God.
What's going on, y'all, man? It's Monday, man. We here. I know y'all miss me. Y'all miss JB. We back. Shout out to the chat right now. Marcus Russo standing on business. I see Sean Waffle in here, Juan Owen, and Isaiah Place. What's going on, y'all? JB, what's going on, man? I ain't seen you in 3 days, man. You all right?
I'm cool, man. Just, looking at all the shit that goes down in the country. I had to give a little rant to start the show off. I'll do a little rant in the beginning, so that way we don't waste our time during the rants. Take up your time and your air time, because I need a Smitty Says So every day. We need other things. So, I had a woman come over to the house. A few women over the weekend. One of them's a mentor of mine, former boss of mine, mentor of mine, female Division I head basketball coach. I won't give her name, but she'll come on the show one day. Speaking of Division I head basketball coaches, the legend, my homegirl, my ace, Coach Yo, the head coach of Ole Miss Running Rebels, female women basketball coach, who will be entering the tournament, of course. I think they go to South Bend, Indiana, for their first round matchup. She will be on the show tomorrow. Coach Yo, clap it up. Coach Yo will be here tomorrow. Shout out to her for making time during the tournament prep as they get ready to take Ole Miss into the tournament. Coach Yo will be on tomorrow. Tomorrow's loaded, Smitty. We got Coach Yo on. John Runyon Jr., lineman who just got traded from Green Bay to the Giants. He'll be joining us tomorrow as well, plus Steve Kim. It's loaded tomorrow. So we got that lineup to look forward to. But Smitty, I don't know, man. It was very interesting to hear her talk about basketball as the Warriors and Lakers are on. She's a Warriors fan. Mm-hmm. And we were just talking and watching the game, and she was like, she's trying to get into the Warriors organization and work with them. She knows some people there. She's like one of those people that knows how to like cut people, sign people, trade people, cap. She knows how. She's a GM, but without ever being an NFL GM, she's basically been the GM at the college level.
Got you. Okay.
After she coached, she kind of was in charge of NIL stuff and different shit. So she knows how to manage and move around pieces. And she was like, I cut Clay, cut Draymond, cut makeup Cap. Like, she was just talking all this shit, right? And she loves Golden State. But she made a point to me, Smitty, I want to bring up to you. Before I even talk about the main point she brought up that I started to think about. She didn't say it completely, but I took it and ran with it and come up with my own deal. Yeah. But Smitty, she said, like, on this whole Cap and all this stuff, and then this whole Steph Curry, LeBron thing.
Yeah.
How is LeBron so widely looked at above Steph when he trails him in head-to-head championship matchup wins? He trails him in overall championship, or they're tied. He trails him in moving around. Steph has never left his one place. Steph has always played for the most part with whoever who's given to him. He never has said, give me this. KD came and left. He still won before and after.
He did.
So, like, I don't know if LeBron truly wants to be looked at as she stated, and I trust her to death. Like, and again, a woman, so don't say I don't fucking trust women. She was like, dog, I don't think LeBron truly wants to be great or understands that greatness wins and travels without actually shopping jobs on the job. He was always looking to move to another place and find a big 3 or a big 4 or whatever. Right. Steph never seen that. He never sensed that. He never got that he wanted out. And I was looking at it. And then she brought up the body thing. And I'm like, she brought up the body thing. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's a totally different body, obviously. But if you do look, she was like, listen, JV, we've been around the S word and the rubs and all that our whole life. Steph looks like shit. And he goes, he still looks like shit. Flabby, sloppy, loose. You know, Steph ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, we know he ain't on shit. So, like, she was just making that point.
He don't think he's sloppy, but he ain't, like, fucking ripped up. He's just regular. Just regular. Yeah.
Yeah, regular dude. Like, but for a regular dude doing what he does in this thing, you kind of know. And then you look at she was showing me pictures of their bodies when they came in. Like, fucking Steph looks the same, homie, as he does that he did when he came in. Other than just natural maturity. Of course, he was real little. Yeah. And then he got older. But look at Giannis. I know you guys saw that picture. You sent me a picture over the weekend. That somebody did that Giannis thing, how he came into the league looked like a straight baby.
Yeah.
And that motherfucker just like, I agree. I agree. I truly believe weight room, hard work. I don't believe that everybody just skipped over that and got straight that swole. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, I mean, listen, those are all good points. I mean, going back to your main point of saying that, it's not a clear argument that LeBron's better than Steph. Like, I get it from a standpoint of they both played in the same era. Steph beat LeBron more in the rings. I get all that. But at some point, though, your eyes got to tell you something. And I love Steph. And I think when Steph is on, he's the most dangerous player in the NBA. He's one of the most dangerous players in NBA history, in my opinion, because he just has a shot that you just can't really do anything about. No matter how good a defense you play, he can shoot off balance, run around, barely touch the ball for a second, and the ball's already going up. So he's the most dangerous player. But when you use your eyes, man, it's just certain things physically that Steph is limited at where LeBron is not. And I do think the body does play a role at some point. And I think that's why Steph could never be considered like the GOAT. Not because he hasn't been amazing, not because he ain't the greatest shooter of all time, not because he ain't got what he got 4 rings, not because he's done everything he could do. But I just think it's just one of those things where, all right, when I think about the physical aspect, is Steph really better than Kobe? Is Steph really better than George? Is he really better than LeBron? Is he really better than it just unfortunately you're limited at that position. There's another example, and it's not
why though, because he can't dunk.
First of all,
I think that's what we look at. We look at an imposing dude slashing down the lane.
It's not just dunk. It's not just dunk. Steph is good against the rim, but he's nowhere near LeBron.
But I'm saying they're
not
even
prime LeBron and prime Steph. Steph is not getting to the rim nearly to the same degree as LeBron.
That's why I'm asking you. You're telling me that's the reason because he don't slash down the lane? And
that's one reason. That's one reason.
You never hear Iverson in the conversation to GOAT. You never hear. Right. You never hear any
Isaiah
guard.
Thomas.
Always, you gotta be 6'6" or above.
Yeah, because at some point that does play a role. Like it's just, I think it's impossible to be under fucking 6'5", 6'6", and be considered the best player of all time because you're just naturally limited. And we're not. And the thing that we never bring up when we're having these discussions is defense. We just forget about defense. We don't even care no more. Steph is a smart defender, meaning that he's good at playing the lanes and getting steals. I think if you look at his all-time steals, he's pretty high, but that's because he's good at playing the lanes. Steph has never been just a face-to-face one-on-one, slap the ground and about to guard you, and that's because he just always been kind of frail. He's not
ain't either.
Like that. You said what?
LeBron ain't either. It's a contract.
LeBron in his prime was a hell of a defender. He's not doing that now. He's 40. He's 40 now. But I don't agree. I don't forget when the guy was 26. Out there sliding his feet, sitting down. Like, we got to go back and watch the tape.
before we get into it, before we get into quote of the day and bring up the commercial,
we'll get to that.
My take from her is what I want to talk about since we're talking this LeBron Steph thing, which is not the topic of discussion. Justin Fields is. We're going to dive into it. But I got an interesting take that I took away from being around her over the weekend.
Yeah.
I cooked and shit. I made some fire ass swordfish skewers, and then I made a cowboy tomahawk steak, and then I made some shrimp over some cauliflower puree. I made some drinks. We were chilling. We had E over here. We had her came over. We met. We chilled. So look, we watched the end of the game. All right. Now I got to be honest with you, dog. She opened my eyes to something that I always used to harp on, but it really was glaring. It was glaring as shit. If you watch the NBA and don't realize this, what I'm about to tell you, something's wrong. So I have an NBA take, Smitty, and just go with me and debate me on this one before we go to the quote of the day and get into the show.
Yeah.
As to why I won't watch anymore is this is the reason. And as to why I'm so critical, this is the reason. If you watched the game 2 nights ago between the Lakers Warriors, what did you notice as the score was 124-117 with 2 minutes left in the game? Smitty, do you notice anything?
Break it down to me.
All right, so this is what's crazy because back in the day, we used to watch games like that, and we'd be standing up, Smitty. When I was probably before probably 25, 28, when the Lakers were winning 2-3 in a row.
Yep.
And the Lakers would be down, and Mo's in the room here, and he would, and all you old heads would know. We'd be in our house, Smitty, on our feet for a simple Laker game, like regular season Laker game.
Yep.
If they were down and there was time on the clock, and it was a reachable game, you were down 7. Okay, they were down 7 with 2 minutes left, Smitty.
Right.
And I noticed one thing: they have no will to win the game. And we used to be on the field, Smitty. Chris Owens, what up?
Whoa, shout out to Chris Owens with the random 99.99 to start the day. Appreciate you, CO.
Hey, CO, is this the real CO? The CO that I played with, CO?
I think this is CO, I think.
Chris Owens, who I played with?
Yeah, like O-line, right? He's a block for you, I believe.
Nah. Receiver.
That's what I meant, yeah.
So, Smitty, we be on our feet. Come on. We be saying one thing. I don't want to give it away yet. We be on the feet like, come on, get a stop. Or, whatever we got to do.
Right.
Here's what I got to say. If you notice nothing else, when you watch the end of an NBA game, there's literally no will to win the game. There is zero strategy put in place to send people of the opposing team who are winning to the foul line. And furthermore, since I know nothing about basketball, if some of you think so much and talk about, well, riddle me this, geniuses, basketball heads. Why, if one of the worst free throw shooters on the Warriors, Andrew Wiggins, was on the court, up 7 with 2 minutes left, why didn't anyone notice the fact that no one on the Lakers put him on the fucking foul line with 2 minutes left? There wasn't even a strategy to foul anyone. They let layup after layup after layup. They were trying to trade points, Smitty, because LeBron would run down there and shoot a 3 after they just allowed a layup.
Right.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I'm watching it with her, and she brought some other things up, and I'm sitting there like, why aren't they fouling? She goes, this is why I don't watch the NBA. I root for the Warriors, but I don't watch the NBA unless it's the NBA playoffs, because at least in college, where she's a college girl, at least in college, you'll see fouls. You'll see a kid on the free throw line. And by doing that, which we know the kids in college are not great free throw shooters, guess what? It's translated. Either are the NBA shooters, their free throw percentages in the NBA are the lowest they've ever been. So why don't we do it, Smitty? I ask you.
Yeah. So, I mean, like Andrew Wiggins right now, I think it's like a 73% free throw shooter. Like you said, that's not great. It's not great at all. But at the same time, it's high enough where if I'm a coach, I'm like, damn, do I just want to start hack-a-shacking Wiggins. Like, you know, I don't
But
think
you don't
his
see it at
percentage is
all.
bad enough to where I'm gonna do that though.
All right. Let me ask you. Let me tell you what I think and why.
Break it down.
Why we don't see fouling. Because it ain't just the Lakers and Wiggins. We don't see it at all. If you're up 5-7 points in the game with 2 minutes or less, the game's over.
Right.
And I looked up the stats. There's no comebacks. There is no fouling. Put him up the line and come back because he missed 1 of 1, or he missed the front end of a 1-and-1, or he made 1 of 2, and now you go down, hit a 3, you gain 2. We don't even do it no more. Here's why, and this is what we came up with. Gambling, betting. Ooh. This is something that I don't agree with conspiracies. I don't agree with any of this shit, but I want you to think, and I just realized this shit. Fool the public with 10-minute common foul reviews. So we go to the review board and we watch a common foul for 10 minutes on if it was a common 1, was it a flagrant 1, was it a flagrant 2? But really, it was just a common fucking foul. But we'll review it for 10 minutes, Smitty.
Yeah.
Then speed the game up to catch for the missing time of all those reviews in the game by not fouling, by not extending the game's late down stretches of any meaningful ball game. LeBron and Steph rather hug and smile and clown like it's a joke, and I just refuse to watch it. I don't know if you watched that game, dog, but the end of the game, which was a really good game apparently, something happened to the clock and the refs, and it was an absolute mockery. Like there was stars in the first row that just got up and left. It was a 7-point game, and the clock kept going off, and it was a foul. It was a whistle every like 6 seconds. As soon as the ball went in, bloop, and then it was a 5-minute fucking over there at the thing. The last 2 minutes took, I think, 25 real minutes. And cats were like, oh, fuck this. They said that the ratings went like this in the last 5 minutes. I even saw it on ESPN. They're like, we got to fix this. Bring out a regular clock then, whatever it may be. It just killed the whole game momentum, right?
Yeah.
But, dog, they speed up the game by not allowing you to foul because no one fouls no more. Nobody fouls anymore down within a meaningful, I could catch you. Back in the day, your Indianapolis Pacers, Reggie Miller has the famous comeback, steal the ball, hit the 3, foul, get the ball, he missed a free throw, shoot another 3. Dog, you don't even see that no more. Like, you just straight up see, let the motherfucker score a layup. Like, I'm telling you, I've been watching it all weekend. Like, I want to make sure I really know what I'm talking about. Yesterday's game came down to, who was I watching? Clippers, Atlanta?
Mm.
Dog, they don't even foul.
So let me ask you this, JB. Are you saying you
set up, bro?
So all right, so that's what I'm trying to, just for clarity. Are you saying that some higher ups, whoever they may be, are telling players in the final few minutes of the game not to foul? Like, how is it translating to the players? That's my question.
I don't believe that. I don't believe anyone's telling the players. I believe that through osmosis, the way that they continue to do shit, just like in society, if we do certain shit, enough isn't. If we don't have enough toilet paper on the fucking racks in the store, Smitty, you're gonna go to wipes.
Yep.
I think we're doing it through osmosis. We're just training the player to be like, all right, fuck, we played so long because we've had 20 10-minute reviews on a common foul,
right?
Which we're trying to decipher if it's a flagrant 1 or 2. That the players at the end of the game by that point are like, oh, fuck this. Let's get this game over with. Let's sign jerseys and swap jerseys and hug and do a selfie. I don't think there's anything about – there's no competitive edge. I got to hear Michael Jordan yesterday talking about coaching if he ever wanted to coach. And he was like, fuck no, I couldn't coach. These cats have zero mindset like I had. They have no mindset even comparable to what I had, what Kobe had, what our generation had, Larry, Magic. There's a reason why Larry got out of coaching, even though he coached and was really good and had Reggie Miller on the verge of beating Jordan in 7 games in Indianapolis. I remember that series specifically because I thought Indianapolis should have beat the Bulls that year in 7.
Yeah.
And then he just walked away from it. And then he gave Isaiah the job. And like, it's to my point of the Steph Curry LeBron thing. Like, we don't give Isaiah Thomas enough credit because Michael Jordan was in the era, yet Isaiah dominated Jordan early. Isaiah went to finals. Jordan never got to the finals, but we never talked about Isaiah because of his stature, his size,
And I was going to bring that up, JB, is a prime example. The only reason why I did it, I was going to bring that up, JB. The only reason why I did is because Jordan ultimately had 6 rings, so that's why it's hard to compare him and Isaiah. But I was going to ask you, because, again, I'm younger. You were actually living. Was there a point in which, I guess, after Isaiah had won his first 2, and let's say Jordan had none, that people were saying Isaiah Thomas was better than Jordan? To the research that I have, that was never even a conversation. So, that's what I'm saying. At some point, you got to just have do the eye test, and Isaiah.
All right, let me.
But we know Isaiah ain't better than MJ. It is what it is. All
right, that's great, but here's the reason too. People talk about this era of athletes, how great you guys are, and all this.
Yep.
Well, why isn't there any other talk about who's close to LeBron? Because it's not that great. Let's just be real. Isaiah Thomas wasn't going to be discussed as the GOAT because he beat Jordan twice. Because we had a guy named Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Bird. We had fucking Hall of Famers playing everywhere in the NBA at that time. So guess what? It went from Isaiah beating Jordan, cool. Yeah, that's cool. But we had guys like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird and Dominique Wilkins and Dr. J still at the end of his era. Charles Barkley was just yakking on everybody. David Robinson was coming into the league as a rookie who was unbelievable. We had all these people in the league at the time who were still not only either Magic and Bird had won too, or B, you had all these guys ultra legendary. Without social media, these guys were the face of the NBA, right? You had a bunch of faces of the NBA at that time.
Yeah.
Patrick Ewing, Akeem Olajuwon, there was just list goes on and on and on at that era, at that time. Yeah. Not saying there's not great players now. But here's the thing.
You don't want to start playing the name game, JB. That's all I want to say. I can do that too.
But you're still not getting the point. You're not comparing none of them to LeBron, homie. That's what I'm saying.
You weren't comparing nobody to fucking Jordan.
You skipped over everybody. Who are you comparing to LeBron right now?
You weren't comparing nobody to Jordan.
KD?
Everybody you listen was not compared to Jordan. David Robinson wasn't compared to Jordan. Bob was compared to Jordan. Come on now, JB.
No, you're asking me when Isaiah beat Jordan, dog. That's your question. Jordan wasn't Jordan. Jordan was Jordan, but he hadn't even beat Isaiah yet. What time out then? Okay, using that same comparison in, at that point in LeBron's career, right, when he had went to the finals against the Spurs and got swept and at that point, LeBron wasn't LeBron. It was fucking Kobe was still the king. LeBron was right there, but Kobe was still the king at that point. And then even when KD started coming along, is it KD or is it LeBron? I don't know. Is LeBron better than Kevin Durant? I don't really. Oh, Kawhi Leonard. You forgot about Kawhi. The issue is none of them had won yet. Kobe was the one winning, right? And Shaq.
The OG.
Shaq and Kobe were winning, right? KD had won shit.
Tim Duncan was winning just as much as Kobe was winning.
That's what I'm saying, though. KD had won shit. I'm saying that you're talking about, you asked a specific question. Was Isaiah Thomas in the discussion because he beat Jordan? Right. And I'm telling you no, because of the other people who had won. If you look at who's won in this generation right now, playing right now, who has won titles? There's not a lot of them.
Yeah, Steph and LeBron are at the top, and then you got Giannis with one, KD with two. Yeah,
I can't even think of no players who've won titles right now. KD has won because of where he went.
I know because he was 2-time Finals MVP. I'm not gonna take that away from him. Giannis has one. Giannis has one. Kawhi has what, 2 or 3?
I think 3. I don't know.
He got the Raptors, and then he got Spurs.
2 in Spurs, I think.
He got 2 with the Spurs. He got 1, 2. Regardless, he got multiple.
But that's it, Smitty. There's not a lot of guys who have won right now. That's what I'm saying. We're sitting here pulling teeth to figure out who's won a title in this generation. It's really been 2 guys.
Well, the thing is, though, JB,
everyone was winning. The Pistons, the Celtics, the Sixers, the Lakers, the Spurs, everybody.
It's real young right now, though. That's the thing. I'm saying for example,
but it was always young.
No, it's true. No, I'm saying what I'm saying is right now, a lot of the stars right now are young, meaning that Steph is getting older. LeBron's getting older. KD's in like year 16. Like a lot of these cats are getting older. So now the league is now built with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander from OKC, who's a baller. Anthony Edwards, who's a baller. Jason Tatum, still young. He's just turned like 26. A baller. So my point is, the faces of the league are now young as hell. So now it's to the point where, as Jordan saying, I'm back, I think, right? Let me see.
Yeah, 29 years ago.
Yep. Oh, okay. Official. I love that, man. But yeah, my point, but before I forget, is that like these young guys need time now to do what you're saying. I'm saying like we're at that point where the faces of the league, yeah, it's still LeBron technically because he's LeBron, but like the guys who are really balling right now, Luka, they're young as hell, so they haven't won yet. Is what I'm saying. But
KD is the greatest scorer of all time ever. Max Hess said, "Motherfucker scored 11 yesterday, homie. 11 fucking points. You know how I know? Because I bet on that motherfucker. I'm tired of hearing KD's the greatest scorer of all time. No, he's not. He's not the greatest scorer of all time. Because there's like one time where Kobe had under fucking 11 points in his career. KD's had it fucking 20 times. I'm tired of hearing he's so great, and he comes out and talks that shit. Oh, we need to be leaders. The Suns just had a whole fucking rant about KD and how he's supposed to be a leader because they came back from down 20 to Sacramento last week, and then they get absolutely fucking mud stomped yesterday by a Giannis-less Bucks. Giannis, homie, didn't play. So you're a 6'11 wingman in KD without a 6'11 freakazoid named Giannis stopping the rim, and you didn't take over the game, and you're the greatest? Miss me with that KD shit. He's a soft, ring-chasing, has to be around 3 or 4 other greats, and then we talk about how great he is. I ain't never seen him play great by himself. Like, I never seen him carry the team. I ain't never seen KD be the guy and everybody else wants to go play with KD. Have you seen anyone say, I got to go set up a team with KD? Or have you always seen KD say, I need to go with Booker and Bill and 73? I got to go to Golden State with Steph and Clay.
They fucking begged for him. They begged for him. They begged for him to come there.
I ain't never heard Steph and Clay say, I need to go play with you.
What the fuck? Whether they go play for him or he go play for them. They asked him, KD, weak as fuck. Big Bron came back 3-1. We can't get past Bron. KD, can you please come save us?
Hey, what is KD? Why do you respect KD?
Why do you respect KD? It won 2 back-to-back Finals APs.
On a team that had everybody.
And when he was with OKC,
what has he done by himself?
I'm talking. When he was with OKC, he led his team to the NBA final. He was like 23 years old, but we forget about that. He was the man on that team. Westbrook was number 2. Harden was a baby. He was the man on that team. It takes others to win a championship. This era today is not the same as the 80s or 90s. Hey, people move around. That's what it is. I don't think you realize. The Celtics were the main culprits that started that in this era with Paul Pierce and KG. LeBron said, I'm going to one-up you and join the Heat. That's what it is now. So trust me, I didn't understand that shit at first because I'm a Kobe guy and he stayed at home, but that doesn't happen no more, JB. So you got to get past all that.
I think you're too young to understand.
Of all time. That's a fact.
No, it's not facts. Quit saying that's facts because you were too young to even know what KD was doing as a rookie and a second-year guy.
What? Stop. I ain't that young now. Come on, bro. I'm not that young now. I watched KD's entire career. I watched KD's entire career. Stop that.
I don't know anything about basketball. Let me school the guy that knows so much. If you're sitting here telling me that Serge Ibaka and Westbrook and a young Harden as a 6th man coming off the bench weren't culprits with the toughness they instilled for them to get into a finals that they got smoked in, by the way, isn't the reason that KD was free enough to hit open jumpers all day long, you're out your fucking mind. If you think KD was sit up there and generating all that by himself, you are crazy. Without Serge Ibaka, by the way, who Kawhi Leonard also needed to win, no one wants to talk about the guy that was down there being nasty in those times and eras. But OKC got smoked. He wanted out of there because why? He needed better players around him. And then guess what? Guess where he goes? He goes to a new team. Then he goes to a new team. I don't know how y'all respect the cats that just won't stay put and keep winning. I don't know how y'all don't respect Steph Curry more. I really don't. Y'all just pass him by. This motherfucker stayed there and has won.
I love Steph.
Regardless of who he's had, Steph has won where he's been. Stayed there and won.
I love Steph, but I'm not like that has nothing to do with Steph. I'm saying just because we don't like let's be real. Let's call it what it is. KD joined the 73-9 Warriors, and he lost half his fan base because people were upset they think he's soft. I'm okay with separating two things. I can look at a decision and say, you know what? As a competitor, I don't agree with that decision, but at the same time, my eyes still work, and I know what I see, and I know what I watch, and I know how great of an offensive player KD is. The man is literally 6'11", can shoot from anywhere on the court and get to the rim. He's been a 50, 40, 90 guy multiple times in the regular season, which means 50% from the field, 40% from the three-point line, and 90% 90% from the free throw line, 40% from the three-point line, and 50% from the field. That's hard. That's extremely hard to do.
You know who else
he's top 10. I think he's top 10 right now, or top 8 rather, in all-time scoring list. And the next couple guys he has to pass, he'll pass them like this because they're so damn close to him. So like when I say he's one of the greatest scorers of all time, when I say it's a fact, it's because it literally is a fact. Like the numbers say it, and my eyes say it. That's all I'm saying. Now I'm not saying ain't like I'm saying he's top 5 greatest player of all time. No, we're talking about offense. From an offensive bag. KD is phenomenal.
You know who has a similar bag, similar stature, similar size, and stayed at one place and won? Dirk Nowitzki. But nobody wants to talk about what he did. He never left. He didn't chase no ring. Guess what? They came to him. And guess what? He beat LeBron.
I mean,
anyway, we got to move on.
You're bringing up other players to try to downgrade KD. We love Dirk too. I don't know why you.
I'm not trying to downgrade him. I'm just telling y'all he ain't what
Dirk is a slower version of KD. Like
I'm not downgrading him. I'm just telling you what y'all. I'm just telling y'all what you refuse to talk about. You refuse to talk about what he's actually done in order to win. How he has actually gone about winning. He is a fucking bus rider, not a driver.
Okay, Chuck.
Hey, I agree with them. Hey, let's dive into quote of the day, Smitty. It's 40 minutes in. We hadn't even discussed it. Brought to you by Bet Online. What up, man? The real Coach JB here for the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty. We got a proud new sponsor, of course, for the second part of the year, and that's Bet Online. Continue to be your number one source for all basketball wagering needs, including pro and college hoops throughout the year. March Madness is here. Join us every Monday and Friday with Jeff Nadu as we will pick them and up-to-minute odds, stats, and trends. You can follow your favorite team's path to the playoffs with in-game live betting, contests, and all the best player props. Experience the world's best wagering platform anytime from your desktop to your mobile device. Head on over to BetOnline today. Become part of the team and remember to use promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for 50% off plus welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. Peace. God, TikTok's fucking dumb. All right. Can't wait for the government to shut them motherfuckers down. So let's dive into, not really, if they pay us. Justin Fields, Smitty. Oh, quote of the day. Shit, I haven't got you. We're all over the place. Yeah. Basketball wasn't on our fucking discussion, but we wanted to bring it up. Quote of the day, Smitty. When you hear only what you want to hear, like TikTok does, you're not listening. When you read only to confirm what you know, you're not learning. Stretch yourself. That's how you grow. So she said,
stretch yourself. Right. I like that. That's
Contrary to belief, brought to you by Prize Picks. Head on over there. Cherish the friend who tells you a harsh truth, Smitty, over the guy who tells you a loving lie. Oh, that rhyme. I should be a fucking rhymer. Cherish the friend who tells you a harsh truth over the guy who tells you a loving lie.
It's real. I like that.
Poll question, Smitty. Poll question. True or false? Caleb Williams will be a bust. Drop it in the comments section below. That's true or false? Poll question. Caleb Williams will be a bust.
That's tough, boy. Bust is a strong word, but I'll say this. I'll say true because I don't think he'll play nearly as close to the expectations that the media has placed on him in terms of saying he's the next Mahomes. He's Mahomes mixed with Kyler Murray. He's this, that, and the third. I think he'll be a solid quarterback in the NFL. I don't think he's going to be like horrible, but I don't think he's going to be nearly as great as what they're saying. So do you define it as a bust? I don't think that's technically a bust, but if we're comparing it to what the expectations are, then true, then he would be, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because a bust to me is like, like Jamarcus Russell just was horrible. Like he was horrible. Like it was like, damn, that don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? So like that's a true bust to me. If he comes out here and he has it's an average season, and he's an average career, I don't know if that's a bust. It's just like he didn't necessarily reach what we thought he would reach. So
I hear you. All right, let's dive into this rundown, Smitty. Justin Fields traded for a conditional pick. That's it. A conditional pick. Listen to what I got to say, Smitty, on this one. This draft class, I got to be honest. This draft class, the draft class of Justin Fields I'm talking about. This draft class that Justin Fields was in consisted of Trey Lance, who was traded for a 4th round pick, who the Niners gave up a lot to get, obviously. Mac Jones traded for a 6th round pick. Justin Fields traded for a 2025 6th round conditional pick. And one more guy we're missing, named the Mormon MILF hunter, Zach Wilson, who is not even tradable according to the marketplace, and further proving my point that the quarterback product is getting worse and worse and worse. And I just want to break down the 2021 quarterback class will go down as possibly the worst disaster ever when it comes to what teams gave up and what teams got back in just a 3-year span. Just a mere 3 years ago, Smitty, this was a class that everyone was super fucking hyped on. Trey Lance, who ain't fucking played a down in college football in 2 years, who gets drafted first. We take him early on over a Mac Jones, who I think if the Niners draft Mac Jones, it's a whole nother ballgame. Mac Jones is probably thriving right now, but who knows? We take Trey Lance. And guess what? We get rid of him so goddamn quick, Smitty. He couldn't get rid of him faster. And then we get Justin Fields. We get Zach Wilson, the number 1 pick. Remember? What? Look at this class. Well, guess what it looks like? This class, the 24 class coming out right now, gives me a lot of the same vibes, the same energy, and a lot of the same bust written all over it. So I'm just seeing career backup. I'm seeing XFL. I'm seeing USFL, CFL. I'm seeing cut, Arena League. I don't know what I'm seeing, but I'm seeing a lot of badly managed talent at the college level. Badly managed talent at the college level. Like, I'm seeing it, and I'm blaming the coaches, man, because if I knew I had an all-time uber-talented kid, then I'm doing everything I can to get that dude to be the next great NFL quarterback. I don't understand these college coaches, Smitty, for one simple reason. Why would you not want to say that you coached the greatest NFL quarterback of all time? Like, you don't think Michigan, back in the day, their head coach at the time who coached Brady, I believe, was Lloyd Carr, maybe? You don't think he's walking around saying, I fucking found this guy, coached this guy, and created this guy? Like, you don't think guys want to be known as a guy that developed the dude who became the greatest thing ever? Like, you don't think Texas's Tech's coach, who had Patrick Mahomes, who really didn't win any college meaningful games, who really didn't do shit in college, contrary to belief, you don't think he's still dick measuring out here? Talking about Mahomes is mine. I always knew, even if he didn't spend it at the bar, though, I always knew Mahomes was going to be the motherfucker. We just had a shitty roster in college. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can make anything. You can say anything about it. The dude is who he is now.
Right.
Like, I am really tripping that college coaches rather either shop, get paid only to not lose their job with NIL and collectives and all that, over creating a dude that is going to be great when you know you have the talent. Like Justin Fields, if I had him at Ohio State or Georgia, dude, my dick would be hard every day, and I'd be like, let's go. Get under center today. We're going to do EDDs, everyday drills. Alan knows. We're going to teach you how to get under center because you don't know where you're going at the next level. We don't know if you're going to be under center or not, but let's be prepared for it. Let's teach you ground zero basics, but we don't no more. Like, I go to these college practice meetings and everybody's in the gun starting practice before anything. There's no center exchange. There's no ball security. There's nothing. They're all in the gun and they're just sitting out there, pads undone, fucking just, blah, like looking pretty, 7-on-7 culture. And you wonder why these dudes don't participate in the fucking, in the combine. You wonder why they don't understand sense of urgency when it comes to understanding protections and who's hot, who's not, etc. You see it. And I'm old school, Smitty. We get it and all that. But I don't believe, and you can ask Alan right here, I don't believe that you should do anything on that practice field that you will not do in the game. I truly don't believe it. I truly believe that. I truly believe that you should not step on the football field and do anything that you would not do in a game. So ask Alan. That's why we were strapped up when we hit the field. If you want to take your helmet off, you got to get off the sideline. Get water over there. That's why our pads were strapped when we got on the football field. Our quarterback pads, our rib pads, whatever. We're not out. Are you going to be like that in the game? So that is my point. We do everything we did on the football field. I just am a true believer of that, and I don't know if that will ever change. I don't know if Smitty can go out there in a soft shell helmet with just shock pads on and do drills, hand-to-hand combat drills against O-linemen, and then expect that to translate when we put the pads on. Our sweat starts to come down and cover our eyes because we now have a helmet on, and then we hit that first, and then now, oh shit, the game's changed. I don't believe you can take a light practice and turn it into a nut-crunching gladiator sport if you don't do it when you're at practice. So, yeah, Alan, tell you, I used to be pissed when they didn't strap up. When they weren't strapped up, I'd pre-practice, Smitty, pre-practice. I'm like, no. We practice what we fucking preach. Yeah. And I just don't get it. I don't understand it. And you're at a place making $9, $10, $8, $7 million as the head coach, Smitty, and you can't demand greatness from your fucking QBs. Like, that shit blows my mind, dog. And you're giving them big money? Like, I don't get it. But anyway, I believe it's a disaster, Smitty. Where you at with the Justin Fields headed to Pittsburgh? I didn't think it would happen. I thought Justin would stay after the Pickett got traded deal. I made a video of it. Yeah, I'm wrong. I know it didn't age well because all you fucks out there said the same thing. You had the nuts to come out and actually say something you thought. Well, I thought that they would keep Justin, and I thought it would be smoke and mirrors. Obviously, a great take by Sean King. He said, if you don't get rid of Justin Fields, you're banking on keeping your job. And that is what they did. They did business over Justin Fields. And they're like, they want a job 2 more years. Because now I draft Caleb, I get 2 more years on my contract. And that's what Sean King said. It's a very smart take. And that is what's happened, it looks like.
Yeah, I agree. So, like, for me, folks, you said a lot right there, but folks, specifically on the Justin Fields trade, I think it was a bad move by the Bears. But it's a great move and a great fit by Justin Fields. I honestly think him being a backup behind Russ for, I don't know, a year, 2 years, depending on how everything goes, will benefit his career, take some pressure off of him, put him in an actual legit organization who knows how to win underneath one of the best head coaches in the league and one of the greatest head coaches of all time in my eyes, and Mike Tomlin. And for everything that we say about Russell Wilson, man, one thing I will say is he is a professional. You know what I'm saying? He does have a ring. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. The guy is, he's on the line, but he will probably be a Hall of Famer. So, Justin can learn a lot from him. And in the event that Russ goes down for a game or two, he gets hurt, it's not like you have to just tremendously change the offense, for Justin Fields, in my opinion, because Russ is still mobile enough to, move around a little bit and scramble in certain moments, at certain times. So I just think you're putting him in Justin Fields in such a great situation to where, again, pressure's off of him. And in the event that he does play, he actually has a team around him, man. He has some backs and Najee Harris and guys to hand the ball off to, and an O-line and the defense over there that's going to ride for him to where he ain't got to do too much on the offensive side. So I think this was great for his career. And whenever he does play, whether that's next year after that, I think we're going to see a new version of Justin Fields just because of the organization that he's in. When has Chicago ever got the quarterback position right? I don't know. Y'all tell me. It must have been before my time. Since I've been alive, I've not seen the Chicago Bears have a quarterback that was right. They always have the defense right, physical defense, all this, that, and the third, linebackers, everything. But the quarterback position is always what they lack. Even when they make it to the Super Bowl, they had Rex Grossman. The guy was not it. So, I just think for them, they're trying to just finally get this thing right. And everybody is saying that Keller Williams is the next guy. So it's a lot of pressure on them to just make that move. Like JB just alluded to, they want to save face, save jobs, extend their contracts. And they got their fingers crossed, man. They're on their hands and knees praying, hoping that Keller Williams is nearly as good as what everybody's saying he is. But if he's not, oh my God, it's all hell gonna break loose in Chicago.
Now, transitioning over to the trade, we have Russ and Justin. Now, speaking of those two in Pittsburgh in the same place under Tomlin, I like it. Tomlin's never been a QB whisperer, of course. When you talk about head coaches, you talk about guys that have had great quarterbacks and have been the guy for the reason for the great quarterback. Tomlin was always a defensive guy who was a manager of the entire operation. That's kind of what Tomlin's a great CEO in this league as a head coach. He had good coordinators and quarterback guys around Big Ben, who was just a nutty-gutty performer when it mattered, was just the epitome of an old school Steeler quarterback. Yeah. Like he was a black and blue collar quarterback. That's what that city is. That's what he was. He'll always be down. Him and Bradshaw will go down as those guys forever. Russell's, in all seriousness and honesty, he's not that blue collar guy. He's a fucking model, pretty makeup boy. And then you got Justin, who, in my opinion, is a little more black and blue collar to me. He's more blue collar than Russell is. I think he wanted to be in Chicago, play in the cold, didn't care, wanted to show up, wanted to work. I think Justin was that guy. I don't think Justin's great, but I also don't think he was surrounded by anything whatsoever. And I thought he should have got his fourth season. Now that they have surrounded the roster with some better talent, they get rid of the guy. Again, back to my point, we don't let nobody fucking, like, you can see a guy that's teetering the line as being, okay, this guy has something. And then we don't even get him no talent. And then when we do bring in talent, we trade the dude. You'll never see him around that talent. And now Justin could go down as a bust to the common fan. Let me show you this before we take a commercial break. I want to show you the TikToker of the world, the TikTok people that are on TikTok, the people that are on social media that have zero knowledge about anything. They just create TikTok videos, and then a lot of people out there actually listen to these fucking idiots as if they played, coached, or been in the business. A TikToker, Smitty, created a video years ago bashing Justin Fields, bashing Russell Wilson, talking about how shitty the Steelers were at quarterback after Big Ben. Since then, yesterday, this guy made a new video. Take a look.
Well, it's about time I victory lap this shit. Justin Fields is fucking ass. The shit I heard from you Bears fans this offseason was crazy. Come on.
Same guy, Smitty.
Now, Steeler Nation, we got our fucking guy. Give me the most talented and raw quarterback in the NFL. Justin Fields had no way to succeed in Chicago. He didn't have a number one receiver. He had a horrible offensive line.
This is the fucking reality, homie. This is the reality we live in. That's TikTok of absolute fucking fucking nobody who came out and was bashing somebody like as if he played quarterback or knew the position.
He ain't played shit. Look at this. He ain't played shit though. He ain't played fucking punter.
He played nothing. Fucking TikTok. And that guy, some of y'all listen to that guy. And oh man, he's a Bears fan and blah blah blah. And then now they make a trade, and this motherfucker's now. Look at this fucking idiot. Like seriously, dog. Y'all gotta really pick some role models in your life.
This dude got the audacity to call Justin Fields ass. He has the audacity to call any NFL player ass. Look at this dude, man. He ain't lifted a damn chair in his life. He it's hard for me to respect a guy who ain't even played football. Like he ain't even played football. I can look at him and tell he ain't played football. Look at him.
Mean like the women coaching in the NFL?
All right, man. We're gonna take a little bit of a break, man. Hey, pound that like button. We'll be right back in about 5 minutes with Big Matt McChesney.
Here, this is the infamous one of the palm trees that Ash ate. So
Can't fucking believe you. See this fucking dog? You see him? Who just eats a whole fucking palm tree, man? You guys are fucking shitting. Just fucking unearthed the motherfucker. Ate the whole fucking thing. Like, who eats a whole fucking palm tree? Like, you fucking shitting me? Are you fucking shitting me? No shit. Now, who did it? I'm gonna look at the fucking camera. Who fucking did it? Sit down.
Sit down. Sit. Sit down. Now, do we understand each other? Excuse me. There is no more fucking up palm trees. I'm tired of spending all this money, and now I've created a whole fucking barricade for you. So I don't want to have to dig this bitch out. I'm fucking dead. I'm old. My back hurts. I'm fucking stiff as a porn dick. Come here. Sit down. Sit down. Boy, if you don't sit your ass down. Now, you come over here with me. Come on. Here's what I had to do to fucking stop you. And I got a better, beautiful, bigger tree. So now we are shitting in tall grass. Replanted it, bitch. Soiled it up. Put a little trellis in here. Put a bunch of fucking stones. Look like Stonehenge around this bitch. And now, Ash, are you gonna fucking try to dig this bitch out? Are you gonna do this? Are you gonna do this again?
So I had to. Ash, remember this? Remember you ate this? Did you do this? He ate once. I put this little moat around it. And just a sitting area. Come over here. We got the plastic basketball court and driving range. So if I ever want to pull out the big dog, that's our net. All we do is just slap down our driving range, you know. And bam, swing away. And that's where we swing into the net. Jimmy crack corn on this hoop. And here's my RV parking where I park the whips. Let's take you out and show you a few. Out these double gates, I'll show you a few cars. Come on out. So right here, of course, is the bad boy. The last year they made this Cadillac EXT, one of a kind. Can't find these anywhere. And then you come out here, you got the 650i, BMW, ragtop, 500 to the rear, white interior. You know, you can't beat it. This is my baby though, my truck. Full sound, custom sound system in both. Top notch, only as I do. And obviously, this is my crib. Oops. All right, that's JB's cribs. Appreciate you jumping by, coming by. Listen, it's time to go. Now take your asses and get the hell out of here. I'm about to go cook some slapstick tri-tip. It's been a pleasure. Now go home. Peace.
to look down on the property. That'll do it. Real Coach JB's Cribs. Peace.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're back in the building. And without further ado, our main man, right out of Boulder, Denver, Colorado, smokes weed, don't drink, cusses,
Tattoos,
neck to ankle. I don't know.
cusses, fucking.
Yeah, just loves women.
Yeah.
Our
Nasty
main
motherfucker.
Straight out of 6-0 Academy, the owner and operator of 0 to 60 Pod, Matt McChesney. Join us.
Eminem, what's going on?
What's happening? Good morning.
What up, Matt? You good? I know you started early this morning. Is that kid that you're training really 6'10"?
He's 6'9.5", yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he was the tackle at CU last year, and now he's going to Oregon State.
Oh, okay. So I saw you stretching him out, flexibility and shit. I saw you actually motivating him, and you were telling him how great he can stretch at 6'10". I was like, all right, Matt's all around the coach. I don't, me and Matt always get looked at as the pessimistic asshole. So I was like, well, you should listen to Matt. He was telling the guy he could fucking stretch at 6'10". Hey, I'd have been like, do it better. But anyway, Matt, we got a lot going on here. Justin Fields to Pittsburgh. Like it or not?
I mean, yeah, I can't believe that he, like a 6th round pick is all it took, and more teams weren't in on that. But, if Pittsburgh wants to bring him in and have him sit behind Russ for a year or take the job from Russ, if he can't beat Russ out, then that's probably a problem. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't think that Justin Fields is as shitty as the NFL does, but they definitely don't value him very much. That's for damn sure.
Now, to add a little context to it real quick. So I read that there were actually 4 total teams that had some interest in Justin Fields, but Justin Fields and I guess Ryan Poles, who I think is the GM in Chicago, right? Basically, Poles wanted to do right by Justin Fields, and Justin Fields asked not to be traded to whatever those other teams were. They haven't actually announced what their teams were yet, but apparently there were some better offers on the table, but they were trying to look out for Justin Fields, so they ended up going with the Steelers. So,
yeah, there's a whole lot of this, like, teams looking out for the guys. I heard that in Denver when they cut Justin Simmons. That is the worst. That's the biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard. It's never happened. It will never happen. The teams don't care. I mean, it's just that narrative needs to be flushed. That's terrible.
Yeah.
I'm looking out for you as we fire you.
Man, I started the show off. Yeah, I agree with you. I started the show off with this specific quarterback class that was Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Mac Jones. Just a quick rundown, and you already probably know this, but Trey Lance was traded for a 4th round pick. Mac Jones was traded for a 6th round pick. Justin Fields was a 25 6th round conditional we just talked about. And Zach Wilson is not even a tradable commodity at this point in the marketplace.
Right.
Further proving my point that the QB market is just getting worse and worse and worse. I don't know if I don't think you agree to that, but I'm looking at this class in 21 and I'm looking at this class in 24. I see a lot of similarities, Matt. I'm seeing a lot of the same shit. I don't see a generational guy in this draft unless it's someone that we don't see, like a Tom Brady 6th round guy that we're going to find out in 6 years that's a dude and we don't see him early? Because I don't see him early, at least. I don't know if you do, but.
Well, it's what we talked about with McShay and, Kuiper and all the draft analysts. And it's even gotten worse now with social media and everybody being an expert. The fact that they only focus on the top 5-6 guys because they're first rounders just shows you the lack of knowledge that they have about the position, not how focused and hyper focused they are on 4 to 6 guys. I mean, anybody can hyper focus on 4 to 6 prospects and read the scouting reports put up by God knows how many other people, because again, social media has allowed people to just steal everything. And that's cool. No one's talking shit. I do it too. But what I'm saying is it's not hard to sound like an expert when you're just reiterating and reading what someone else said. So
hey,
if you've only got 5 guys that you're focusing on, but there's 20 guys in the class, the other 15 might be able to play.
It's funny you say that. We just showed a TikTok video guy who's absolute fucking nobody. He's an absolute nobody. And he made a video just 6 months ago, basically talking about. Can you show it again, Bailey?
How bad that field was, yeah.
Basically talking about Justin Fields was bad. Listen to this.
About time I victory lap this shit. Justin Fields is fucking ass. The shit I heard from you Bears fans this offseason was crazy.
Okay, fast forward 6 months. Same guy, Matt.
Come on now. Steeler Nation, we got our fucking guy. Give me the most talented and raw quarterback in the NFL. Justin Fields had no way to succeed in Chicago. He didn't have a number 1 receiver. He had a horrible offensive line.
Hey, JB, what's that word your generation uses? Cringe? Like I got cringe vibes. Like,
man, I'm just gonna be honest. It's not like this is like I just cringe. I don't like. It's not Matt McChesney. It's not Jason Brown. It's not fucking Todd. It's not fucking Merrill Hodge. It's not a guy that actually played, coached, and moved guys on and evaluated talent. This is a TikTok nobody. And it's not working, D. Jones. Shut up. Everybody wants to say because we show somebody that it's working. No, it's not working. The bottom line is he's an example to what you look at, D. Jones, and listen to.
What's working?
You listen to this.
He said it's working in the system. Like this guy.
Who you listen to? You fucks listen to these fucking guys, and you wonder why the narrative gets pushed and why you guys bet on fantasy draft. You fucking idiots.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know who this kid is, but he's just another one in the long line of fucking, keyboard experts, and that's cool. Whatever. I mean, it's just. This is what football has become, and it's almost, like, think about you're on CNN and you put up a world-renowned, like, fucking, I don't know, a world-renowned scientist talking about global warming or something, and he has an opinion. And then you put up somebody on the other side who's just a student who's, like, going for their PhD or something. Well, they're not really on the same level, but it sure does look like they are when you put them on the screen together. So I don't know the answer to this question, man. And the more that I say, the more the fucking mob just freaks out. I'm tired of the mob. They're a bunch of bitches.
Yeah. He just rubbed his hands together. Pittsburgh, we got our guy.
Here's the thing, though. It created a whole generation of fucking fuckboys. Like more of them, I'm saying. Like,
it gave all of them a voice. Back in the day, all the fuckboys didn't have a voice, and now all of them have one. And they all like group together, and it's like fuckboy you. So FB, Fuckboy University.
I gotta get your take, Matt. I gotta get your take on a legend that a lot of you might think he's the greatest ever. Maybe you do, or not. Wherever you guys.
Not time glasses, motherfucker. They're just Oakleys. You got some other shit to say?
Who?
Keep going. No, just the comments.
Aaron Donald's called it quits. I hope he comes back, but it looks like he's serious. What's your take on him? Give us your take on him, Matt. What you think about him? Where he stands in your Mount Rushmore, and and what you think of him retiring. What do the Rams do next?
Well, they better draft a 3 technique or go find somebody. You know, you got Fletcher Cox and Aaron Donald both retiring in the same year. Aaron Donald's one of the best interior pass rushers I've ever seen. One of the best interior players I've ever seen. You know, he's a modern day John Randall. And, you know, John Randall was one of my favorite players ever. Aaron Donald was one of my favorite players to watch ever. You know, he was as disruptive as anyone I've ever seen play the game. So, especially with a guy who was only 6 foot, you know, maybe 6'1" in cleats. So I respect the shit out of that because so many people probably told him what he can't do. You're too short. You know, you're going to get pushed around. You're not big enough. And that's all bullshit. So, you know, if you can play with leverage and you do a good job of strength building and you're explosive, you're going to be effective in this game, especially in the trench. So I know that offensive linemen and quarterbacks are fucking probably doing jumping jacks right now because they don't have to deal with this freak anymore. But tip of the cap to Aaron Donald. He's done everything right. You know, 99's a first ballot Hall of Fame, undebatable, not questioned. Like, it should be the easiest unanimous fucking vote ever. If you just look at him, his rookie year and his second to last year were the only times he wasn't first team All-Pro. What?
Crazy.
What? And then like he won what defensive player of the year 3 times. So, you know, he's just one of those cats where you wonder why he's walking away so early. Barry Sanders only played 10. He left early too. But again, 10 years, that much dominance, a ring, walk away healthy. Peace.
Yeah, man. I second everything Matt just said, man. You know, obviously I'm younger, so you know I do my homework, but I couldn't watch some of the like OG's actual career. I had to go back and listen to guys like you or watch some tape and look at stats. But for me, man, like Aaron Donald's the greatest defense tackle I actually have been able to see with my own eyes, if that makes sense. I mean, you know, look, you guys Matt hasn't met me in person, but I'm 5'11" and a half. You know, when I played ball, I was 285. So like when I look at a guy who's an inch or two taller than me, weighed around the same, it just was like it was inspiring to see a guy who was undersized and to play at that level. You know what I'm saying? Because I got to say, obviously I'm nowhere near Aaron Donald, but my point is that when I was getting recruited, I heard the same thing. Oh, if he was an inch or two taller, we'd offer him. He was this or that. So I understand the grind it is when you're going through that and trying to overcome that size difference, and for you to still overcome that and be as great and dominant as you are. I mean, there's clips and moments that we saw 3 guys just all facing Aaron Donald. Like, think about how dangerous of a man you have to be to where 3 offensive linemen are facing you. That means if 3 guys are facing you, somebody's just probably fucking free somewhere. But they're like, fuck it, we got to get Aaron Donald. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I just meant kudos to him. Obviously, as a fan, selfishly, I want to continue to see him play because I think he still has some stuff left in the tank. But like Matt said, man, he's been damn near all pros his entire career, Super Bowl, Defensive Player of the Year. Like, he's done everything and more that he could have ever imagined. There's nothing left to prove. So hats off to Aaron Donald.
Matt, moving on to some key acquisitions you and I talked about. I said I would, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm fucking trying to do everything I can to get Tyron Smith over there. Well, they got him.
They got him. Good.
I'm sure Busting with the Boys and all these other fucks will probably say they said so too. But we said that was the number one place for him to go. We thought it would be the best place for him to go. They also made some moves and got a couple guys. They got the guard, I believe, from Baltimore, who only has given up 2 sacks, I believe, in 3 years for Lamar. That's hard to do with a guy that moves around as much as Lamar. That's very hard to do. Aaron got better up front. What they do in the pass game as far as receiver-wise, they already got some great young talent. I've heard they've put up I think they actually put somebody on the block or said he was tradable. One of those receivers that was at Green Bay.
Lazard up.
Lazard, yeah. That's not, to me, a big thing. But you think the Jets got better so far this offseason, free agency? I know they did up front anyway.
Yeah, I mean, they need to improve that offensive line. I have a feeling they'll bring back McGovern, and he has a feeling they will too at center. Have a veteran there for another 1-year deal in front of A-Rod. Bakhtiari, is out at Green Bay. I would consider bringing him in as well. and making sure that your right and left sides are both secure. And then, I know they've got that big son bitch from Louisville, Beckham, but you move his big ass to guard. Like, you can never have enough guys, and they're always hurt. So I would bring in as many offensive linemen as I could right now if I were the Jets and just rotate them through. I've seen, so many great players that are only tackles end up playing guard at some point because they've got an accumulation of guys. So I think the Jets got better. The key is now staying healthy because they can't, and they haven't been able to. And Tyron Smith's been hurt, and Aaron Rodgers is old. And this is, they are definitely trying to hold this together with some Elmer's glue and like some. So, yeah, it has the potential to fall apart quick. But I'll tell you, if it works, you got a lot of talent. You got a lot of guys with names and a lot of guys that are perceived Hall of Fame players. So if they can figure this out, then it might pop off. But damn, they are old.
Yeah, I agree. Let's transition to some rule changes. They put some rule changes on the docket. Again, of course, I just blows my mind that we always need to change the rules. Back in the day, Matt, probably before you play, when I was finishing, we didn't have to worry about a rule change. Like, the NFL's rules were the NFL rules because it was the NFL, the big boy league. We had the rules the way they were. We had a wedge breaker, buster. We had kickoff return. We actually returned punts and kickoffs. We hit people in the face. All those things. Have you seen the rules that they just put forth yesterday?
Explain this to me. It's just I read it, my brain ain't operating right.
Maintain position on the ball.
So, amends Rule 6, Section 1, Article 1, to permit a team to maintain possession of the ball after a score instead or in lieu of a onside kick, basically, is what they're saying. So, it's the XFL rule that basically says you can go for it on 4th and 20 or whatever, 4th and 15 or 4th and 20 from a certain yard line. You have a shot. Instead of onside kicking.
Oh.
Okay.
That's the
I'm gonna be real
XFL
with you.
rule.
I honestly, as a fan,
That's the XFL rule.
I don't hate that though.
I don't hate it either. It's another play.
Yeah, it's an extra play. It can be
The onside
exciting.
kick. They've neutered the onside kick by not allowing all the guys on one side. So, I don't know. Both plays are exciting. At least we'll be able to see another play. That's cool.
Well, here's what my take. You know me, I'm the old man. I hate it. Here's a reason though.
You hate me?
We've slowly eliminated, Matt, you know this, a contact. Like, we've made onside kicks impossibilities to recover. Can't recover an onside kick because of the rules they've made for the onside kick team. It's impossible. Like, you're gonna get it every time. So. But they've done this to us slowly but surely. Like, they've raised gas prices and then they lower it. So they raise it to $6 and they lower it to $5.20, and everyone thinks prices came back down. No, they really didn't. They're still up by fucking $3. You just idiots think that it came down 80 cents. This is what they've done in the NFL. They made the rules so fucking soft that we just accept it now. Now we want a new play. Instead of onsiding, we just want another play now. And I want to see a bang onside kick. That's harder. It's harder. It should be harder. The NFL should be harder. That's my take. I don't know.
I agree. There's nothing easy about an onside kick. That's for damn sure. And there's nothing easy about 4th and 20. So at least you get another play. And I'd rather have another play than an onside.
Here, only reason I don't like the 4th and 20 is, Matt, because you know, as I know, they're going to fucking cater this rule, and we're going to start throwing back shoulder 20-yard comebacks, and it's going to be PI after PI after PI, and now you got a first down. And I'm like, come on, man. We're just throwing the ball up now and getting first downs. When that starts to happen, though, Matt, you and I will talk about this, and we'll be like, fuck, man, at least call it legitimate. We already have an issue with how they call 3rd and longs when we just throw it up and we get a first down. It's like, no, there's no more. Back in the day, Matt, you know, we used to strategize and run and draw so we could punt it and strategize and make sure we flip the field. Nowadays, we just throw it up and it's PI. It's like, I don't know. I get change and change happens, but sometimes change is good, but sometimes it's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Just be stressed out about this call. He's gonna be up all night about this shit.
I don't get it. But anyway, Matt, you got a favorite March Madness fucking pick? Are you betting it or anything? Do you care?
I mean, I'm glad CU got in as they're in the first 4.
What they get a 9?
They had a 10 seed. They played Boise.
Boise.
If they can win a game in the first 4, I'm with that. That'd be pretty cool. But I just like watching March Madness, man. I don't really bet on it. I don't know enough about the college basketball teams to bet on them.
Yeah, I don't either.
I gotta go, guys.
You should have did a bracket.
What'd you say?
You say,
I
man?
gotta let this maintenance dude in. I'm sorry. I got a piece.
Oh, you're good. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Peace.
Peace. Big Mac.
Hey, he texted me earlier this morning. He's got all kind of shit going on in his office. What? Do you know anything about March Madness?
It's a tournament every single year. What do you mean? You mean like what are you talking about? Like you mean this particular year?
Yeah, these players.
I mean, I know Zach Edey from Purdue.
Oh, I couldn't tell you one player. I'm not talking about the teams and the seedings. I couldn't tell you fucking one player. Tomorrow, though, Coach Yo, Ole Miss's women's head coach, is on the show. Yes, a woman actually likes me. I don't know if you knew that. It's crazy. A coach, no less. Coach.
I got one woman friend. What you talking about? I got one.
I know one brother.
Right, that's how you sound right now. See, women do like me. See, I said the ladies of the Discord in the chat, they rock with you too. I will say that though. I will say that.
All right, Smitty. I know we talked. We got all this stuff. I got to ask you. I want to transition back to the Justin Fields thing. Steelers fans, we just saw switching up and all that. When does the heat in the kitchen get too much for Russell Wilson? And when do they go to Justin Fields? Like what is the point that they make this move? What is the point that they do this? Because I'm like, I know they've low key said it's not a competition, which is crazy talk to me. I don't believe you can bring a guy in and not compete. But I want to know when you think this happens. Like at what point? Record wise, they're down. They're 0-2. They're 2-3. Is it performance? Russ Wilson's not really throwing touchdowns versus picks.
I think it's a combination of his individual performance and wins as well, like win-loss record. So let's say, I don't know, the Steelers are like 2-4 to start the season, right? And he's not playing that well. I think you start hearing some rumblings from the media and the fans that, hey man, put Justin Fields in. That's Pittsburgh Steelers fans still curtain, man. Like they are hard nosed, they nothing to play with, and they want to win now. And Tomlin has a lot of pressure on him too. That's something that we ain't really talked about yet, and I haven't heard the media really bring up. We talked about pressure last year with Tomlin, or should he be in the hot seat a little bit? I think now pressure is on him because he has a team that can win it. So if Russ goes out there, lays an egg, he's like 2-4, 2-5. Stats ain't really doing what they're doing. I think that's when Justin gets in. That's the moment, in my opinion. So we'll see.
Yeah. It's a result oriented business, dog. I don't know if he's not there, not only as a buffer. We know that's a great buffer to have. Are they going to use him as a scapegoat? Are they going to use him as Cordell Stewart back in the day? Smitty, I don't know if you remember, but Cordell Stewart, when he was there, they ran Wildcat before Wildcat. They had a package for Cordell, and he would still throw on occasion, but he had a package. They would run all kind of shit with Cordell Stewart. To me, this is an even more athletic Cordell Stewart, who even has a bigger arm probably in Justin Fields. Is it a package, or is he going to run the same system as Russell Wilson? That's to be known. That's the unknown. That's the unknown, I guess, variable.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see, man. Do you think he'll be playing in any way? Meaning that even if, let's say, Russ is starting, obviously, still find a lot of packages that get Justin in, 5 or so plays a game, kind of like how they used to do the Saints with your boy. What's your boy name? Tight end, quarterback, running back.
Taysom Hill.
Huh?
Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill. Yeah, you think they'll kind of use him like a Taysom Hill in Pittsburgh a little bit or what?
I don't know, but like, listen to what you're saying and listen to what I talk about. And we're going to sit here and say, all right, now we're going to have to put a package together with him instead of coach him and teach him. Like, we aren't teaching anymore, dog. We're not coaching at all. The NFL is an extension of 7-on-7 college practice. By my point earlier in the show, meaning we take 7-on-7, laissez-faire, kickback, warm up, bullshit. We take that, we put it in college, and then we get to the NFL and we don't refine the kid. We don't break him back down to brass tacks. We don't break him down to finite, detailed fundamentals. We don't get him under center. We don't teach proper footwork. We don't teach eyes. We don't teach fucking, manipulating the pocket with our eyes and feet at the same time. We don't teach escape drills. We don't teach sight adjust. And then we get a guy traded like he is, and now we're pegging him into a certain scenario. All right, now we got to put him in a package, and he's only going to be running power read. He's going to run fucking like I just think it's a disservice to these cats, man. We don't really teach anymore, and I thought coaching was teaching. And I just could not live with myself, Smitty, to be real with you. If a guy not only was traded from me in the NFL, I get the business, but he was traded for a reason, Smitty. Why? Because we calling him a failure. We're calling him a guy that's not good enough. We're calling him a guy that, for whatever reason, isn't able to win a game in Chicago. We're going to get rid of him. I would be looking at, as the head coach, I'd be like embarrassed of my motherfucking self. I'd be truly embarrassed that I failed this cat. And I don't get why we don't call more coaches out, not only in college for the lack of development, but in the NFL for the lack of redeveloping and reteaching and restructuring and breaking the leg and resetting that motherfucker. We don't do it at all. We don't do it, dog. Like, I would be embarrassed as a coach to let this dude fail. That dude's a freak. You saw him? He's a freak. And we're just letting him trade him. And that's not just Justin Fields, Smitty. Look at the quarterbacks we've already mentioned from that class. Like, it is a ongoing pandemic in sports. I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah, I mean, you make some good points right there for sure. I guess the kind of go back to what I said, or my question to you, as far as are they going to use him like a Taysom Hill? Only reason why I said that, I'm a believer in Justin Fields. I think he can play the quarterback position and be very electric and win games. I'm just saying that because he's so damn athletic and he's so damn talented, he has such a big arm. It's just like, damn, we're just not going to use him at all. He's going to sit on a bench 100%. It's not because I think he's limited to that, but they've already said that Russ is going to start. So it just is what it is. Like, they can compete all they want. Russ is going to start this season off as the starter, as the number one guy. So I'm just the reason why I asked that question, I'm like, now are they going to maximize what this offense can be by utilizing them? That's what all the great offensive minds would do. Or are they going to say, you know what? We're going to just keep him back there, clipboard in his hand and kind of keep him there for a rainy day, which is fine too, because I understand you don't want him getting hurt. And then now, Russ gets hurt and now you're going to your third string guy who I don't know who that is. So, it's just a question, man. I think Justin Fields can be really good in this league. I'm not going to say great. I don't want to go too far, but I think with the right system, the right team around him, which I think he has that in Pittsburgh, this man, we could see a turn for greatness. He's still super young, too. That's the thing, man. Every quarterback just doesn't
younger than 3 QBs getting drafted. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't.
Sorry, he's younger than 3 quarterbacks getting drafted.
Come on, bro. Like, I didn't even know that. That's insane. I'm saying this guy's still a baby in the league. Like, let's give him some time and let him to develop. I just think, again, I live says all the time, we live in this microwave society where we want everything ready to go right now. And if you're not ready, we gotta move on. You're a bust. But
isn't that my point, though? Like, that's my point on. I don't agree with moving on. If he is that young, to your point, then keep him and teach him and train him and coach him. Like, that's my thing. Like, what are we doing? Like, so let me ask you this. We robbed Peter to pay Paul. We got rid of Justin Fields to go be a backup under Russ Wilson. If the guy you're drafting is so fucking good in your mind, why didn't you keep Justin? Why didn't you keep Justin and then bring in Caleb if that's your guy, and then they compete for it? Like, what has happened to that? I'm just trying to figure out what happened to that.
I feel you, JB, but like I just think it'd be too much noise though. Like, regardless,
then you don't feel me then.
I feel you. I'm putting my business goggles on right now, and I just saying like if I'm running an organization, I don't need all that noise around my team. It's the same reason. It's kind of like stay with me here. Stay with me here. It's kind of like why people always say why Cam Newton can't be a backup. It's not because he literally can't. It's just that the noise around. As soon as the starter has a 2-game slide where they're fucking tripping, all hell's gonna break loose. So when are you gonna bring in Justin Fields to Caleb's been struggling for 3 games straight. When is Justin Fields gonna come back? Like, you don't need that as a rookie quarterback, having to look over your shoulder, is what I'm saying, or vice versa. Justin Fields continues to start, but he knows you just drafted a fucking number 1 overall pick with the quarterback. It's like, as a quarterback, you kind of want that guy to know he's the guy. Like, all right, like I'm it. Like, I'm not, especially if you're the first overall pick. That's what I'm saying. So I hear what you're saying, but why not maximize the picks and stuff in the capital you can get by trading Justin Fields and going
to me, it's people who defend the move, like D Jones in the chat. You don't draft the guy number 1 to be a backup. Well, we used to. We used to. What do you mean you don't, homie? You may not because you're soft. I do. I would draft a motherfucker to be a backup. Like, it's not drafting him to be a backup, homie. It's drafting him to compete. Y'all just dismissed the competition part of this whole thing. Like, and I don't care about, to Smitty's point, I don't care about their feelings in the noise. You were in the NFL. Back in the day, you didn't have a fucking trade clause. You couldn't get out of it. You bitched and moaned. Guess what? You got cut. And then you got fucking blackballed and nobody else was taking your ass. But yeah, now we're going to be favors. We're going to do a favor for Justin and not trade him to this team or this team or this team. We're going to get him. Like, come on, man. Like, why not? Why can't they compete? Why can't they compete? It's the best thing that ever happened to Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. The best thing that ever happened to those guys. I don't understand why y'all dismiss it.
But Tom Brady was an accident. Let's be real. Like, they did not know Tom Brady. No, it was. They didn't expect Tom Brady to fucking start. He got drafted in the 6th round. Brock Purdy was an accident.
No, but it wasn't about him starting. You're missing my point. It wasn't about him starting. It was a fact that they drafted a QB and they had a guy sitting there. So do you seriously, Smitty, Tom Brady now, what he's done, obviously. Call it an accident. Call it an accident. Fine. You seriously know about his DNA, correct? You think he was at practice and sitting there not competing versus Drew Bledsoe?
I know. No, we know Brady internally was competing. I'm saying from an organization standpoint, tell me at that moment, at that time, they drafted Brady like, oh man, we about to stir up a competition.
That's my point, though.
Bledsoe. No, it wasn't. It just kind of happened that way, and they put him in the game. And
that's my point, though. He was grinding, learning, and competing every day.
Right, but I'm saying is, I'm trying to explain it.
I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. He wasn't drafted 1 to be the starter because they had Drew Bledsoe. But that fits into my narrative.
Same thing with Purdy.
You need quarterbacks in this league, dog. We don't have any. You need competition in this league. You need backups to be legitimate. There's been great backups in this league, Smitty, who have made a ton of money because they backed up. How about Matt Castle, who went 12-4 as a backup to Tom Brady, who was a backup to Drew Bledsoe.
11-5. Yep. No,
I'm just saying, like, there's been these scenarios forever. This is my point. Why wouldn't I draft a quarterback to go in there? And if you're so good and you're better, and I don't want to hear about the cap and the salary cap, JB. Shut up, fucking all you money manager NFL salary cap fucking casuals out here. I get how it works. Ask the Rams, the Chiefs, and the Tampa Bay Bucks how they did it. So miss me with all your bullshit. They can still do it. And they don't have to pay Justin Fields as all y'all think they owe Justin. They're going to have to pay Justin Fields all this big money. No, they don't. Because nobody else wanted him. So nobody else wanted him. There's no market for him. So they don't have to pay him. That's what you guys are missing. They will pay him to be a guy to compete for Caleb as a starter. Like, pay him for that. I don't get how half you guys want to pay him. Oh, they got to pay him. No, they don't, because y'all just said he's not very good and there's no market for him. So how do they have to pay him? Like, make it make sense. I'm trying to figure out how we've just eliminated competition, how we've eliminated the fact that he's not going to be happy. It's going to be noise. Let's just make everyone happy. Blah. This is the one-of-one league, homie. This is a one-of-one league. You chose to play in this league. You're good enough to make it to the NFL. Man up. Nut up. Fucking drop your nuts and man up and beat that motherfucker for his spot. Like, we don't have that no more, dog. It's kind of, it makes me just boil.
I mean, I hear you. I hear the passion in your voice. I feel you. Competition breeds excellence. I understand all that. I just think, like, context just matters. Like, a lot of the examples that you were throwing out were situations where you had, like, a veteran quarterback who was in the league for, you know, I don't know, 6, 7, 8+ years, and then they draft a guy to be the backup, and it's like it's already a certain like system established where we just with Justin Fields and fucking Caleb Williams, we just threw out that this cat is younger than a couple guys who's already getting drafted. They just drafted Justin Fields a couple years ago, so I just think the situation is a little different. Like it's like you're drafting you got like 2 fucking rookies in a sense. You know, Justin and a rookie, but you know what I mean? Like 2 young guys just both on the team. It's just kind of like, damn, you so. I don't know. I hear what you're saying.
Let me compare.
The situation is different. Even with Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. Brett Favre was already like older and on his way out when they got Aaron Rodgers. Like we already kind of knew it was just a different situation. Like
I believe that the MVP next year in this league will be a guy who learned from another guy and got to say through osmosis how not only to be a NFL quarterback, meaning a professional leader at the position, but also tendencies, little nuances, how to throw into this window, how to lead a meeting, how to do that. You know who it is? Jordan Love. Jordan Love, I believe, will probably be the MVP of the NFL, and he backed up Aaron Rodgers for 4+ years. Aaron Rodgers backed up Brett Favre. Listen, we could beat a dead horse and talk about all this, but that's
it's when they did like so. Like in the Justin Fields situation, like so what? Justin Fields will back up Caleb Williams for what? 4 years, and then
we don't know that. Like, we don't know that though. See, that's the thing about it. That's the point I'm making. Like,
or vice versa. I just want to.
But it's different though for your point because Aaron Rodgers was like established MVP.
Right. With Brett Favre, we knew all right. Brett Favre was getting older. At some point, he's going to leave or retire. Aaron Rodgers is next up. Okay. With Aaron Rodgers, retire or leave. Jordan Love is next up. You can't have 2 young guys, both 23 years old, 26 on the same. So what? So Justin Fields is going to be a backup his whole life, or
how do you know? That's what my point is.
Okay, regardless. Okay, Justin Fields starts. So your number 1 overall pick is just going to sit behind Justin Fields for what? That's a waste of a pick. That your number 1 overall pick is sit on the fucking bench.
It's not. That's because y'all say it's a waste of a pick. I ain't saying it's a waste of a pick. We sure didn't say it's a waste of a pick for all the 50 years.
He has to play soon, though. It ain't gotta be year 1, but like fucking year 2, you need to be playing.
All right, let me break this down. Let me break this down into what other shows just don't talk about, and they won't talk about.
Please do.
The Pittsburgh Steelers got what everyone out there saying a steal of the century. They got Russell Wilson for basically $1.1 million because Denver's paying the rest of his bills. And then you get a guy, Justin Fields, with a conditional pick, 25 6th-round pick that won't cost you a dime in theory.
Steal.
You got 2 quarterbacks for nothing, correct?
Yes, you got the veteran, you got the young.
We're trying to create that as the new norm. And it's not good for fucking football. It's not good for the NFL. It's not good for this franchise. It's not good for anything. Next year, Russell Wilson, if he has a somewhat mediocre year, better than what Pickett ever would imagine doing, they have to pay the man to keep him. Or they're saying you're out, and now we have to sign Justin Fields to either starter money or got to go get another guy again. So these are 1-year so-called fixes, but they're not fixing anything. They're actually creating a snowball effect in the league that is creating guys in the 21 class, Mac Jones, Trey Lance, and Justin Fields to be absolute trash, get traded for nothing. give up all these assets, Smitty, just 3 years ago that you're talking about you can't waste a pick. They just wasted picks, Smitty. 3 years ago, the Niners gave up everything for Trey Lance. How did that work out? How did it work out?
They lucked out, and they got Purdy in that same. They got Purdy, so they lucked out.
How did it work out for the Mormon Milf Hunter and Zach Wilson? How's that worked out?
They lucked out and got Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, though, my point to you is we can't say that it's a waste of a pick. It's not a waste of a pick because competition will still show its ass. At the end of the day, you need it to be better. And I don't understand how we just dismiss competition because we're scared to bring up what you say, noise, or we don't want drama in the locker room. Fuck your feelings. This is the NFL. It's not Pop Warner. Like, what are we doing?
For me, it's bigger than even just the noise. I don't know. I guess for me, if I'm an organization and I'm bad, and this is the #1 overall draft pick, I either A, want this motherfucker to play right now, or B, they can sit for a year. After that, you got to play. And I just think in a Bears situation, they don't have the quarterback room right now to where it would make sense to have Caleb Williams just sit on the bench behind Justin Fields. What has Justin Fields done in Chicago winning-wise? I like Justin Fields. What has he done winning-wise to where it just makes sense to have the #1 overall draft pick who they're comparing to Patrick fucking Mahomes, who's the best quarterback in the league right now, who a lot of people got as the second-best quarterback of all time already, or at least top 5 already. I'm just saying, this is what it is. I'm just calling you what it is. People got him top 5 already, got 3 rings, but about to go do a 3-peat. Like that's what's going on. You got that guy you're comparing him to. You got him to sit on the bench behind a guy who has not made it to the playoffs in 3 seasons, who has not – it is – like logically, it just doesn't like make sense. That's why when you're comparing them to the Brady and Bledsoes, or the Rodgers and Favres, or the Loves and Rodgers, those are all very different circumstances where you have a fucking vet, OG, proven guy who's the clear better quarterback going into the situation compared to now. Ain't no clear cut nothing. Like there's no clear cut. Fucking Justin Fields, like it's just it's 2 young guys. It's totally different, is in my opinion. So that's why.
Let me break this down. Huh? So, what happened with the guy we draft first, and we want to teach him, coach him, let him learn and develop? Because I'm curious. I'm very, very curious to see and break down your theory. Your theory is play right now over a guy that Justin Fields, you just said, what has he done? Well, he hasn't had any roster whatsoever in his 3 years. He started as a rookie, to my point, was not ready for a shitty roster, was not ready for the NFL. At Ohio State, they ran RPO and triple option. He was better athlete than everyone on the college football field. He got to the man's league, the 1-of-1 league, and guess what? Oh, shit is real here. The DNs are my speed. They are bigger and faster and unbelievably gifted. Now I can't run RPO like I did at Ohio State versus fucking Iowa. It's a difference. We don't train, coach, or educate the new booty QB. And how are you going to just give him a pass, meaning Caleb, and think he's going to come in as a rookie and just be great? What happened to developing the cat? Why are you giving I know you like Justin Fields, but why are you dismissing Justin Fields' bumps in the roads and hiccups and everything for a guy that's never even played in this league? Smitty, I got to go back to this. If I'm a GM and you're a GM in the NFL and we're really getting down to brass tacks here, and we're going to put our franchise on the shoulders of a guy who we've already put red flags out there as far as character goes, or you know, not being able to handle adversity, whatever you want to say about Caleb, that's to be seen, right? We'll see that. But if you're, to your point, I'm going to put the onus of my franchise on this cat, but not Justin Fields, who just played 3 years and is, regardless of record, personally, right, individually, Justin Fields, if you watch film, has gotten better. Year in, year out, Justin Fields has gotten better. He didn't go from year one as a rookie to absolute dog shit. He had the same 3-year roster, basically, in essence, besides the addition of DJ Moore. He had the same roster. Again, Mooney, fucking no tight end, no run game. Even though they ran, the yards are not a telling sign of how the run game worked. It was all Justin Fields. 70% of Justin Fields' feet, you just saw in the highlight video, was the reason they're the second leading rushing team or whatever. Fourth leading or whatever. So stats, again, are misleading when you watch film. He is the 70% of that run game. They didn't have a run game. They didn't have Najee Harris to hand the fucking ball to, Smitty. You know and I know. That's what people don't understand. But how are we going to put the onus on a guy that's never even fucking played, though? Like, I want to know that. But let's break down the last 10 QBs that were picked first.
Or just, yeah. Not necessarily first overall, but just the first quarterback off the board.
Yeah, or first quarterback off the board. And let's look at to your point, let's see how their success has been as they've been thrown into the fire.
Up and down.
Bryce Young, last one. Struggling. People want him replaced already. He's not ready. I keep hearing, he has no O-line, Smitty. He's getting hit in the mouth. So why are you starting him, homie? Why didn't you start an older dude that you had the opportunity to do? Because you drafted him first, to Smitty's point, which is an absolute, to me, the dumbest thing we could do as a professional organization. All right, let's go next. Kenny Pickett just got traded for fucking nothing. Okay, Trevor Lawrence. Started off rocky, shitty roster. They got better, got an NFL coach. He goes to the playoffs, and then back, he's kind of regressed again a little bit, people will say.
All right.
Joe Burrow.
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck.
What? Why are you so hyped? Why are you so hyped?
Turn that thing around fucking immediately.
What are you so hyped? Okay,
Super Bowl.
Okay, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Mitchell Trubisky, what about
Kyler Murray, all pro. Baker Mayfield, playoff win. What are we talking about?
Blake Bortles. How about EJ
Jared Goff, Super Bowl.
Blake Bortles, Jameis Winston, Jared Goff, Mitch Trubisky, Baker Mayfield. Are you
Oh, Jared Goff was the Super Bowl. That's a conference championship game. What you talking about? Don't put Jared Goff name out there like he is some slouch.
Burrow's the anomaly? Burrow's an anomaly, homie. And he's been
Jared
hurt.
Goff did this. No, stop. Put respect on Jared Goff's name. Don't you roll your eyes.
He got traded, Smitty. He got traded
last year.
He got traded. You just don't get it, dog. Like you're missing the points of my whole thing. He got traded
for Matthew Stafford. Yeah, a fucking Hall of Famer.
This is a traded guy.
For a Hall of Famer.
I don't care. My point is, it's not what you'd say. It's not great. Great quarterbacks didn't get traded, Smitty, until they were 35. Like, we don't just trade quarterbacks like they're fucking just, we can replace this guy. He obviously wasn't very good, bro.
You usually ain't got a Hall of Famer on the trade block, JB. Trust me, back in the days, if Troy Aikman was on the trade block or Marino or something, the motherfucker would take him over a regular quarterback. Jared Goff was a good quarterback, got him to a Super Bowl. You can't take that away from him. But he ain't Matthew Stafford. They lost
and replaced them and immediately won. What are we talking about?
Yes, but it was Matthew Stafford, JB. Like, it doesn't matter.
There's a reason for it. By the way, you can't tell me, Smitty, if Jared Goff was so fucking good at 10 years younger than the guy that he replaced, then you're not telling me I'm trading him for a 35-year-old Matthew Stafford who's been beat up his whole life in Detroit. And I did do that. And he won me a Super Bowl immediately. Like, we can't trade guys that are generational franchise guys. We don't trade them, Smitty. We never have in the history of the game until Brett Favre and Joe Montana got traded at 35, 36, 37. Kurt Warner, 38, 39 years old, got traded. They weren't getting traded at 24. Like, my point is this first round draft pick of guys, Blake Bortles, Andrew Luck retired.
Oh, all right now.
Retires.
All right.
Blake Bortles. So let's just say Andrew Luck, we all agree would be balling still, right?
Fucking ball, 11-5, AFC Championship. Cam Newton went to a Super Bowl 15-1 MVP. Right.
Andrew Luck and Joe Burrow are the only two guys out of fucking 20 I just named that you said, ooh, two. That's not a good percentage, Smitty.
Cam Newton, Andrew Luck, Joe
That's
Burrow
not a
on the
good-
top of the
that's
top.
not a good
Jared Goff
percentage.
is second tier, still went to an NFC Championship game last year and went to Super Bowl with his first team before he got traded. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just saying.
This motherfucker just keep missing over to everything, all the points.
Yeah, I'm
don't
gonna
get
keep
You got
going,
two
guys.
guys that you like out of 20, and you think this is a great deal. Like, you really think Caleb
I didn't
Williams?
say it's a great. Hold on. Now we switch conversation. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back to the whole thing. Me and you have been in agreement from the jump that we both said we think the Bears should stay with Justin Fields. That's because I don't know about you. I'm a believer in Justin Fields. All I'm saying is from a business standpoint, I don't think it makes sense to keep both of them. You go one or the other. They're both two young guys, and I just don't see it. Doesn't make sense. Like it's like you're wasting a pick. What I mean by that is, okay, if Caleb comes and he starts, Justin Fields just sit on the bench, and you could have traded him and got something for him, or vice versa. Let's say Justin Fields actually wins. Let's say Justin Fields wins the competition. Justin Fields is starting for the next 3-4 years. Justin Fields is balling out. It's like, oh shit, we want to stay with Justin Fields. You just got number one overall draft pick to sit on the fucking bench. Either way, somebody just sit on the bench and you're just wasting them. That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying you either pick Justin, you pick Caleb, and you move on. Yeah, you need a good backup, but in this situation, it just doesn't make sense. It's not comparable to a Rodgers Favre, a Rodgers Jordan Love, a Brady Bledsoe, Mahomes, Alex Smith. These are guys who had veterans who were proven and Pro Bowlers who are already established right there at the starting slate to where we knew they were backup. That's all I'm saying. But listen, we can argue about this all day. I think the Bears made a bad move. I think this is good for this Justin Fields. I think he will flourish whenever he gets the opportunity in Pittsburgh. That's my opinion. But we can move on. It's almost time for commercial break.
Yeah, listen, we disagree on all this. The bottom line is the competition lacks, and I believe you still believe that. You believe the competition lacks, but you are in the believer of the new generation of let's let you have it your way type of thing because of the drama you don't want. Listen, it blows my mind that I'm a GM. And we'll take a break before Jeff Nadu. I'm a GM, Smitty. You're a GM, and we're sitting here evaluating this talent. And all the red flags that we've discussed on this guy, Caleb Williams, from everything. We don't even need to name all the shit. The red flags, though, and I'm willing to put my name on him over a guy that I have yet to see with any talent surrounding me. I can't do it. I'm ready to go, like we talk about, the for show pussy over the unknown, because this guy at least has gotten better every year. Now we got him talent. I would love to see Justin Fields with some talent. That's how I would be looking at it as a head coach or a GM. But we got a guy, Smitty, who failed against Tulane in a major bowl game. Tulane, not Alabama. He's a guy that set out the bowl game last year, and a guy came in as a backup and broke the school record. Those are alarming things to me. Like, I'm sitting there looking at it like, damn, maybe he is a system guy like all of other Lincoln Riley's quarterbacks have always been. Maybe anybody can come in there and throw 6 touchdowns. Even the stiff white kid who came in and broke the school record for a bowl game when he didn't play. And then he don't do anything in the combine. Then he acts as if he's already won 3 Super Bowls. His daddy wants ownership of program. All this shit, and I'm just like, damn, dog, that's a red flag like a motherfucker. I'm not taking that kid over a good kid and a good character guy that wants to be there in Justin Fields. I'm not doing it. Plus, Justin Fields is bigger, faster, stronger. I have more of an upside with Justin Fields. He has a camaraderie already with DJ Moore, who now is only going to get better, but yet we're going to restart this whole thing because we don't want to pay, quote unquote, Justin Fields. You don't got to pay Justin Fields. Like, that's we're making excuses for excuses. And I've never seen a generation make more excuses for excuses than this one. And I just don't understand it. But good conversation. We'll take a break. We'll be back at 5. TikTok, YouTube, X. We'll be back in 5 with Jeff Nadu to talk March Madness and all things bracketology. Peace.
Fire. So what? Mahomes is white.
No, he's not. All right, listen.
Is that Tomlin or Smitty?
Fuck you guys. Mahomes is half white. We're taking.
Nah, let me tell y'all. Hey, JB, keep it real. JB, keep it real.
Your game.
JB, keep it real. In the hood, when you mix, what are you?
They say you're black.
All right, stop. Because you know they say.
Racist ass Bailey. don't have the white fucking graphic in here.
There you go, Bailey. Fuck the white guys.
Nice job. Oh!
Look right. This just looks bad.
Look at that.
The
That's
old black
fire.
team doesn't look
That's
so bad.
fire.
The old white team looks awful to me. Like, I don't even want to be associated with the white team.
Hey, but hold on, Matt. First of all, start up top here. Those are the coaches. Yeah.
Belichick, Andy Reid.
I got E-Dub. I got E-Dub
Weddle.
secondary. I got
Thanks for putting me
E-Dub
on
in the
the- thanks for
secondary. I got
putting me on
Belichick
the- I
as
really
my head
appreciate
coach.
it.
Andy
You know
Reid's my
what?
OC.
I did 23andMe, okay? And I had 8% Nigerian. So fuck the white team. I'm going over to Schmitty's team.
Yeah.
You ain't going to put me on the graphic. I'm going to Schmitty's team. Yeah, put me on this motherfucker. Mike McDaniel's white ass is on there. You can take me. I got 23andMe, 8% Nigerian.
Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, we got Matt, baby. We got Matt, baby.
That's right, baby.
Come to the black delegation, man. Come to the delegation.
How you got Mike McDaniel?
He's a brother. Look it up.
He ain't no brother.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
8%. He's an 8%er like me.
I got a cousin that's real light skinned. His daddy black. My uncle. They super light skinned. Trust
How
me.
the fuck? Hey, Big Smitty, is that you or Tomlin? I'm confused.
We all looking like WJB. We all looking like. So hold on, my lineup is crazy, man. I got Mahomes starting at quarterback, of course.
Mahomes is white.
I got Jonathan Taylor, healthy Jonathan Taylor at running back.
Do we got a list? We got the list or no?
I got on my phone. The wide receivers are crazy.
How about Amon-Ross St. Brown and his brother? Their mom's white. She's German. Shit.
Nah, they brothers. They brothers.
German white.
They brothers, man. They brothers.
With the white German mom, he's still black.
You got to ask yourself this, and this shit's it's just being real. If they got pulled over by the cops, what are they gonna think?
That's not fair.
I'm just saying. That's how you got to play it. They brothers.
So that's the determiner. If you get pulled over by the cops, that's where you decide if you're a white or a black guy.
What are the fans gonna say when they pull you over?
Oh, okay. So I have a 96 Impala SS, bitch. Woo! Real clean. Every time I get pulled over in it, I roll the window down and the cop goes, "Oh, I didn't expect to see you." And I'm like, "Oh, you racist fuck." It's happened like 5 times. I swear to God.
All right. So CMC is the only white running back anyway, so he's going to have to play corner also.
Well, he can play both ways. I watched him do it in high school out here. He's a bad
Fucking Travis Hunter.
He's going to play both
I
ways.
love how Mendenhall is like, yeah, all the white guys suck except for that one running back white guy. He's pretty fucking good. He's not. He's
Backup running back is Juszczyk. The backup running back is going to be Usage. What's his name?
Juszczyk.
Juszczyk.
He'll be the backup. He'll be the backup.
He a fullback.
All right. No matter. He's the backup, Smitty. Just stay to your lane.
We got a white fullback. He just scored up the other day.
I know. Wide receivers. We got Cooper Kupp, Adam Thielen, Nakua is ours. And
No.
Tight end. We
Yeah,
got
he's my guy.
Andrews and Kelsey.
I don't like this rule, dog.
I'm not giving y'all Nakua. I can't do it.
What do you mean you can't do it? What do you mean you can't do
I
it?
can't give you
It's already
Nakua.
happening.
You don't get to
It's
choose.
Russo.
You don't get the fucking. You don't get
Chat. Is Puka
You're
Nakua white or
not-
black?
You're not allowing it. Motherfucker, you got Mike McDaniel. Shut the fuck up.
He's literally black though. Like he's
No, he's
literally
not
black. Like his daddy black. Like he a
That motherfucker
brother.
more cracker than
Mike
me.
McDaniel wore some hoop earrings once. I know that motherfucker's black.
Motherfucker McDaniel's more cracker than my motherfucking pale ass.
He's way darker than you.
He ain't darker than me. He's not darker than Nakua.
Nakua, that's what I'm saying. Nakua one of us.
He's Polly. He's
Man,
ours.
keep going.
Nakua is white. You ask him, he'll tell you.
Polly's not white. Ask the chat, but keep going.
He's white.
All right. All right. So Matt, we
Yes.
just took 5 linemen plus an Uso. So we moved. I took Lane Johnson.
So we get the Usos.
We get
So the white guys get the Paulies.
Yeah.
No.
We are in hour 3 of the realest show on planet Earth. We are back in the building. If you want one of my books, Hate Me Now, Love Me Later, head on over to the CoachABstore.com, or you can Venmo me personally. I sign them right here. Look, I got them on deck. Look, I got to send them out. There's 50 books being sent out today that people have just bought. You can get your own personal copy of the bestseller, Hate Me Now, Love Me Later, on the Coach AB store with Big Smitty. CoachABstore.com, and then on the Coach AB show with Big Smitty. So let's dive into this whole conversation. We're still talking about it. Jeff Nadu is going to join us. Our main man, our Lancaster, Pennsylvania product in the building, our betting extraordinaire, our March Madness guru, our betting guru, knows horse racing, football, soccer, basketball, you name it. He has it. Jeff Nadu joins the show. Jeff, what up, Jeff?
What's up, man?
I appreciate you coming on. I know you probably got a million shows to go on today, especially I saw you kind of disappointed, to say the least, in the committee. It looks like everyone's pissed off at committees because the committees seem to basically be jokes. And I'm talking committees from football to basketball, you name it. I've heard two big snubs. I've heard conferences you've discussed, and then I've been hearing the so-called professionals on mainstream media say that the Big East got snubbed. Let's start there. Did they?
I would definitely say certain teams in the Big East got snubbed. Look, I think long term, I think the Big East is going to do very well in this tournament. But yeah, I think a lot of people felt like Seton Hall maybe should have gotten in the tournament. You know, that's a team that beat UConn. A lot of people thought maybe St. John should get in the NCAA tournament. But look, again, if you don't play anyone in a non-conference, I think that's always going to be problematic to you. And I'm not sure St. John's did that. Too many losses. I guess they felt that it wasn't enough. I was surprised St. John's didn't get in just because of the Rick Pitino effect. And you know, we also seen other teams, you know, groups. Look, I thought Virginia, I didn't know what they did to make Warren getting into the field. But, you know, they look at, I think, the non-con a little bit bigger than a lot of us do. But as far as snubs, I don't really focus too much on it due to the fact that, you know, it is what it is. And you know, they're not in the tournament. So we got to move on.
Hey, let me give you another scenario, because I've talked to a couple of big-time D1 coaches, buddies of mine. A couple of them come on this show, a couple of them aren't. But let me give you a scenario that is very interesting that I talked to a main guy last night that you like a lot, by the way. I'm not going to say his name. Some of you guys can assume. What if he says to you that the Rick Pitino factor is the reason they didn't get in? Because of the, let's just say, politics, the PC world we live in, and the verbal truths that he so eloquently shares on his platforms, that we're in a soft society that we don't want that verbal guy in a spot to be in a tournament where he can voice his opinions on the spot. Let's say St. John's beats their first round opponent. He gets up there and says, hey, fucking shit's still garbage. I don't like how this thing's being operated. Like, they don't want that.
Well,
where's your take of that?
Well, listen, we know that if you speak out against the establishment, really at any level, it doesn't matter where you are. If you speak out against an establishment and a powerful entity doesn't like it, they will silence you. They do it on everything. So, yeah, that wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. You know, Rick is obviously outspoken, but there's been a lot of outspoken coaches. Tom Izzo has been very outspoken with certain things about the generation that he's coaching now. But, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I just think when you look at, you know, a lot of people I see in your chat are complaining about Indiana State. They wanted to see them. And listen, Indiana State is never going to make the tournament over Virginia or Michigan State. It's just not going to happen. Again, a lot of it's at what you did in the non-conference. Virginia beat Florida. Okay, they beat Texas A&M. They beat teams that are in the NCAA tournament. Indiana State didn't do that. But, yeah, as far as the politics thing, absolutely. We know if you speak out against the establishment, you will be silenced. That's how this works.
Jeff, let's be honest. They want to see Indiana State because we live in the TikTok era and the social media era, and there's a big white boy there that they think they call Larry Cream or whatever they call him, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Like, that's what they want to see. They don't want to see the team, the best team. They want to see the famous YouTuber get an opportunity to make some videos about a guy that's trending on social media because of how he looks. He's the new Joker, or whatever they want to call him. Like, this is what we are in, and we'll keep the guy out that actually speaks against it, like Rick Pitino. So, listen, I don't know too much about this deal. I know we're going to bring a bracket up soon, but I got to get your biggest hits and biggest misses. Or, you know, are you happy with the 4-1 seeds? I got to take, Jeff, and I'm not a basketball guy and don't know shit about it like you. I know enough basketball, but I don't watch it anymore like I used to. But I got to be honest. Houston and North Carolina got absolutely drubbed. I actually watched those because it was on a weekend. I was sitting in the lounge watching those games. Houston got dominated. So did North Carolina, in my opinion, by North Carolina State, of all people, a rival or an in-state rival. Back in the day, I'm just giving you perspective. Like back in the day when I was young, UCLA, they would lose the last game of the season or in the tournament. They would not be a 1 unless they were just straight out defeated. And I believe we've allowed like mediocrity to become the new excellence. Like Houston got dominated in that game. They didn't just lose, I didn't think, I thought they got beat bad. I thought North Carolina got pretty much beat bad. They never got within like 8. I was like, damn, they hit a couple threes early. I think it was like 47, 46. And then after that, it was like, fuck, they got beat pretty handily, I thought. Like, do they still deserve a 1? Is that because so mediocre in this new watered down product called college athletics?
But I pushed this for years that conference tournaments are completely irrelevant. They don't mean anything. Nobody cares about them. And I think we're seeing that more and more. Teams just don't care about winning conference tournaments, especially big teams. Kansas made it clear they were just not going to play people, so they're ready for the NCAA tournament. I don't understand the love affair with obsessing over winning your conference. You look at a Marquette. Marquette probably could have won the conference. They got to the final even without their best player. Their teams just don't care about it. No, Houston did way too much. They were always going to be a 1 seed. It really, look, maybe if they lose their first game in the Big 12, maybe they wouldn't have been a 1 seed. But yeah, listen, I get on the surface. It doesn't necessarily look good. But in the end, the problem is no one cares about conference tournaments now. It's become abundantly clear. Look at how many 1 seed. Tennessee lost early. You mentioned Carolina. A lot of teams lost. I mean, certain teams, Tennessee went out in the second round of the SEC tournament. So they're still a high seed. It just doesn't mean much. A lot of people don't care anymore.
And then A&M, Florida, who drug A&M in the semis, and then they get drugged last night by Auburn. They score 103 versus A&M, and then they get held to 60, a 40-point difference in a 24-hour span. It's just a telltale sign just from a guy that knows sports. I'm just sitting there looking at it like, fuck, man. How do you bet it? Like, that's my point. How do you bet it when it's like that?
Well, listen, it's hard. I mean, I had a really tough conference tournament season. I think as a gambler, you always have to look at what you're doing, what's not working. Going forward, at least next year and in years in the future, it's abundantly clear to me a lot of these really good big teams just don't care about conference tournaments. I want to back underdogs in conference tournaments. Look at like a Purdue, didn't win the conference tournament. Arizona didn't win the conference tournament. Tennessee, I mentioned. It's something that I will bet less and less of. The only conference tournaments I want to bet are the Southland or the WAC or like these smaller conferences, the Vermonts, the Grand Canyons, the teams like that.
I look at this seeding and I look at it as a political ploy. And that's just me, though. And Smitty, I look at it in a way that deeper than I guess most people do. I'm looking at the UConn defending champs, the 1 seed, of course. Many call them the best team in the country. Whatever, you can argue that. Jeff knows more than me. But what I do know is the fact that I believe it's political because of the way that the seeding happens, who they put in, who they leave out, all affects the teams that are actually picked in the tournament. So let's talk UConn. They put them in a bracket to where you're the defending champs in the 1 seed. And in my opinion, they have the toughest draw, period. If you look at the teams they may have to beat in the tournament. And I'm like, why would you do that? Back in the day, Duke would be the 1 seed and have a cakewalk. Now, I get you're going to play a team in the second round that's probably a 25 to 30 win team. It just is what it is. Whether it's a Grand Canyon, which is coached by a guy that has been coaching a long time, who's really, really good coach who takes over a program like Grand Canyon. I believe they have an NBA guy on that team. But, like, let's be honest, like, UConn has a hell of a draw. Wouldn't you think they would put him in a lesser?
Well, I think if you're a UConn fan, that's your knock today. Why are we the overall number 1 seed? We win our conference tournament. We didn't fail like all these other teams. And we get put in, again, as you said, that is a very tough bracket. It's a well-stated thought. I would have put them in the West. I think that's, to me, the weakest overall bracket personally. Right. But here's the thing, guys, and this is the most important thing. it's the NCAA tournament. You're going to have to beat good teams to win a national title. It's just how it is. But you're right. I think they got a little hosed in being the number one overall seed. But look, again, this is your politics. Who is rewarded with the best or easiest road? North Carolina, a storied program, a lot of fans, huge fan base nationally. I do think UConn has a bit of a gripe, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I got to ask you, though, let's get into some more politics. Tom Crean, who I like a lot. I watched.
He's the best. I want just real quick. He is the best, in my opinion. I'm a big college basketball player. He is the best college basketball analyst ESPN has, in my opinion. I think
Tom Crean is.
Yeah, he's so good.
I like Seth Greenberg because I know Seth a long time. Seth used to be at Long Beach State when I played at Artesia. We were a powerhouse, number one team in America for years and years in high school. All 4 of my years, I think we were the number one team in the country in basketball with the O'Bannon brothers, and then later, Jason Capono, James Harden. Of course, we were a factory, and he would come sit in the office, in the football office, and wait on our head coach, Wayne Marino, who was a legendary coach. And we used to talk and bullshit all the time because I was like a TA in class because I was a quarterback and I didn't have to do shit. And he was a good dude. Later on in life, I got to see him at Long Beach State coaching and shit. And so I like him. I think he's at least a little bit down the middle, at least, as far as what he says. But I agree. Tom Crean basically came out yesterday and said, Bailey, show what he said about people dismissing the NIT.
I would want to coach. I would want to develop my team. You've got bigger staffs than you've ever had. There's plenty of time for the portal. There's plenty of time to talk to recruits. There's plenty of time to negotiate NIL deals. There's not plenty of time to play. There's not plenty of time to get your players on the floor and give them a chance to get better. There's not plenty of time for guys to continue to play that may never get to play again. And that, to me, is absolutely ridiculous. It's each coach's choice. I get it. But if you take away a chance to play the games, to put your team on the floor, let them opt out. All right, the bowl season has it all the time. Let it happen. Who cares? Give your players and coaches a chance to keep coaching and playing, and don't shortchange. If a guy doesn't want to play, go sit down. If a coach doesn't want to coach, go recruit. But there's got to be enough people to put 5, 6, 7 people on the floor and go play. Makes absolutely zero sense to me.
I said this a year ago, Jeff, when I said it 4 years ago when we started seeing players opt out of college football bowl games. But then I said it a year ago in basketball when I said, you should do it like the NBA Summer League. If you're going to turn this into a mockery, you should at least have the assistant. Let's just stay woke and fucking let's get a woman. Let's get a woman assistant who's there's a lot of in basketball. Let her be the head coach of the NIT games. Get you 7 and 9, 10 players that want to play. Let them coach it. The head coach, if you don't want to do it, then go out and recruit like Tom Crean said, but allow the assistant to coach it and get better as a coach and learn how to do it. You develop an assistant coach to be a head coach, and you still get guys to play and the camaraderie and all that. It may actually help not losing those kids because once you say, I'm not playing the NIT, which is now below you, apparently, because of the NIL and the transfer portal. Guess where those kids are going, Jeff? Portal. Oh, I ain't playing no games. I'm going to the portal now anyway because we're shitty. We didn't make the tournament. So,
what sense does it make? But this is the major issue. And this is why we are extinguishing college sports as we know it. And as you've talked about many times, why the fuck does the transfer portal open today? I mean, seriously, what are we doing?
I said that. This is the point, though. Like,
this is what they want. They want this.
Yeah. Like, here's my thing to you two, though, and to this whole point. And Smitty, I think disagrees with me, but when are we going to agree, just straight out, that college athletics is dead?
Yeah, it's
dead, bro.
It's getting closer and closer.
Stop fighting it. College athletics is a dead man walking, dead woman walking.
What if we also turn this into, one of your commenters makes a very good point. This is, I don't get what I want, so I'm going to quit. I'm going to go somewhere else. This is, what has happened to society where, and this is why Crean is so good, because he calls this nonsense out for what it is. You have major coaches saying, we're just not going to coach. We're just going to quit. What happened to what happened to having pride and just, hey, we didn't get there, but let's go win something else, right? Let's go win the NIT. Let's go win. Like, don't players want to play?
Right.
No.
And you know what? To that point, Jeff, I feel like that's the biggest thing that we're missing right now, or that has changed. It's like at the end of the day, the money's cool, the brand deals are dope, the jerseys are nice. You want to make the NBA or NFL, all that's dope. But the foundation should be the love for the game.
Exactly.
And I will admit, I don't feel like these young guys have that same love for the game. Like me, I truly loved football. I still love it, but I loved football. You know what I'm saying? Like I love that shit. Like the competition, the locker room, the conversations, the just seeing yourself improve from day 1 to day 100 and knowing the challenges you went through and the mental, battles that you faced where you thought about quitting or stopping on that play or whatever, and then you push yourself through it and now you're a better man for it. Just like all the little things of the sport, I truly had a passion for it and loved it. And then, of course, I like the other things that came with it. You know what I'm saying? The free flights and this and that, of course. But right now, it's like it flips. It's like the most important thing right now to these young guys is all the extra shit, the money,
and this is why,
the flights, all that.
This is why I'll continue to pound home. This is why I love the smaller conferences, man, because this is where you have the true love for the game. Coach was just talking about Long Beach. Do you guys understand? They fired their coach.
That was our next thing. Go ahead.
He decides to stay. And what do? Fuck the administration. We're going to just win this whole thing. And they did. Now they're in the NCAA tournament, and they're still going to fire him. You look at some of the other stories. I mean, just whether it's St. Peter's or Grambling. Grambling makes their first tournament, I think, ever. Just super cool stories, man. And I think we can't let that get away. We have all this stupid stuff that happens in the high majors, but there are some cool stories that happen in the lower term. Look at Will Wade, a guy who was literally pushed out of a job for something everyone did. The corrupt FBI looked towards him, got him out of a big job. What'd he do? Did he quit and say, I'm done with basketball? Screw this. No. I'll take what I can get at McNeese State in Louisiana, and I'll go win the whole thing, and then I'll go back to the tournament. And he's in the tournament now. So there's so many cool stories. It is a shame, though, that people are just willing to quit now.
Jeff, there used to be a day, like the tournament was picked, and then guys that got left out automatically went to NIT. Like, that is what it was. And we used to wait around. This is how important college athletics used to be. Like, okay, we saw the tournament. We are UCLA fans in the house. Okay, we see where they're seated. We followed that team particularly all the way through. Then the NIT happened because the NIT would be on the odd days of the week. Right. It kept people busy. It was Tuesday, Thursday, whatever days the NCAA tournament wasn't. And it was legitimate college hoops. Like in Syracuse may have not got in that year. They got into the NIT. Their first round game was against a team that went to the Elite Eight last year, NC State. Like that used to be the NIT. Now we're just saying, nah, I don't want to play in it. There was no choice back in the day. I just don't get it. But there's a reason why you don't have Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick's, Pete Carroll's roaming the sidelines in the football anymore. And if people don't correlate this to why Jay Wright and Tom Crean aren't coaching, you are the problem. Why is a guy who's won multiple national titles refusing to coach? It's not like he's 90 years old. Jay Wright is still very serviceable coach. He can coach tomorrow.
And guess what? You know what's going to happen more and more? Retiring early. The Tom Izzos, see ya. The Rick Pitino's, see ya. I mean, let me ask you guys. What do you think a John Chaney or John Thompson will have to say about what's going on with this nonsense?
How about John Wooden?
And look at the product you have now. It has gotten better and better throughout the years. And then we look at it and we say, what has happened here? Why has this happened? Why have we cannibalized everything? Why is Jay Wright want to sit on the sidelines and watch the game instead of sitting? Because Billy Donovan, there's another one in the NBA. Why do I want to deal with this shit? It will eventually be extinguished more and more.
After who's the head coach for Atlanta now, the Hawks, used to be at Utah. What's his name?
Quinn Snyder.
Quinn Snyder. So Quinn Snyder, when I was in college, was the head coach of Missouri. Young guy. All the bitches liked him. He was a fucking pretty boy, had the hair, wore the sunglasses. He gets cracked at Missouri for being at a bar with some broads, and he's super fucked up. And if you guys probably don't remember it, but there's a reason he never went back to college. Because he was like, well, fuck this, fuck you, all this drama. You want to put me on video and me having a drink after, he successfully turned around a program at Missouri. And then he stays in the NBA forever because he's like, well, fuck that. I've heard personally that he will never go back because of what's going on. The same with Donovan. The same with other guys in football, basketball, whatever. College athletics is dead. We need to stop fighting it, dog. And until we agree that it's dead, I don't believe we're going to get better at it, or we're ever going to have a shot at changing it. Like Tom Crean has said it. Like, we're refusing to play in games, Smitty, or tournaments. We're refusing bowl games, bowl bids. Like, players don't want to play. It's dead. I don't know what else to say to you. The athletics in college is dead.
When you say it's dead, though, I guess my question, like just dead in the sense of it'll never be like what it once was. Dead in the sense that you actually think this thing is going to lead to a point where fucking the sport itself is going to get shut down. Like, define what dead means to you real quick.
It means that it's not good for anyone involved. Gotcha. Once you're dead, people say, you're dead to me. Whatever you want to say. I believe it's going to be dead to more people than it will be alive to people. And I think Jeff can talk about it better, because once you're dead to me, I'm done with you. It's like the mob, right? You're dead to me. There's no going back on the hit. Like, the motherfucker's going to happen. I don't know if we agree. When you're dead to me, I'm not watching no more. Like, I didn't watch a college basketball game all year, Smitty. First time in my life.
But let me ask you, when is and this is more of a societal problem. Doesn't it seem like we talk a lot about in all walks of life, everything is dead? Why is this such a problem? When are we going to look at this from a bird's eye view and say, what have we done here? Like, how can we continue to go on like this at every level? It's not just sports. It's our way of life that we know of. It's going away slower and slower. We're allowing technology. We've allowed that to completely corrupt young people. It's very concerning at our level, because it's not, again, just sports we're talking about. We talk about this a lot. We have everyday lives and things that we do that are changing. It's weird.
And I know Smitty always talks about, change is good. Change always used to be good when I was growing up. Change wasn't possibly a favorite. It wasn't probably popular, but we had to go through it, right? We had to go through the change. Okay, whether a parent disciplined us and put us in a certain scenario, we had to stay at home, whatever. We didn't like it, but guess what? We had to do it. We did it, and we accepted it. Now it's like change is good, but it's not. We just say it because we used to say change is good, and it actually was. Now we say change is good, and it's not. And now we've created a narrative that change is good. It's really not. Change is fucking garbage.
When you were younger, like Smitty, even you, Coach, whoever, like we were all like part of that. Smitty, what year were you born?
94.
Okay, yeah. So you're not like a Gen Z or anything, but you remember this too. 20 years ago,
as I graduated high school.
20 years ago, though, if someone said to you, you're not allowed to say that on the internet, like we can just take it off, we would have thought that's crazy, right? Like that's never going to happen. Like we could say what we want. We're in America. We now have to accept that, where if you say something on TikTok they don't like, it's just silenced. Do you know where they do this at? China, communist countries. That's where they do this shit at. Like it's crazy. And and the response is, we just don't want you to say it. You're being too woke, or you like what?
Jed, I had 3 videos yesterday, either muted, deleted, not demonetized on TikTok. And I said, fuck TikTok. I hope the government does delete your sorry asses. And I'm on TikTok with 200 people live right now. Fuck them. Like, that is my point to what you just said. Like, okay.
Hold on. You need to log out real quick before
Oh, he's gone. He's gonna.
It's a wrap. It's not.
It doesn't matter anyway, Smitty. They're gonna get rid of him anyway. So, like, I'm just trying to figure out, like, why are we okay with being shut down from saying anything? I thought it was I thought we're in the free world. Whether this app was made over there or here, it's being used here by everyone. Like, it's in our right now. I'm using it right now on live. Why can't I say what I want?
It's they shit though.
That's my point. Then make it our shit or get rid of it.
Yeah, it's
So Smitty, we're not smart enough to create a TikTok in America and do what we want to do.
This is why I'm really fascinated by that thing that happened a couple of years ago. How this country, in a matter of 3 days, mobilized to a point where everyone did what they told them to do. Everyone, not one person didn't. They were told stay the fuck inside, and everybody did it. No one asked any questions. Everyone just did it. There were a couple of people that figured it out, but it's crazy how quick they can get people to do things, you know. And listen, I don't know how to say it, but we need to wake the fuck up, man. Here's a quote I'll give you, and then we'll get into the basketball. All it takes is one generation to brainwash a population and convince them that reality doesn't exist. And that's exactly what's happened here. Think about it.
And it still goes back to facts, Smitty, Jeff. Like, you either coach it or allow it, dog. That's just really real quick, a real simple way to fix it. You coach it or allow it. We've allowed everything that we're talking about right now to occur. We did not nip it in the butt. We did not choke slam the fucking badass kid when he fucking pushed the old lady over to get into the grocery store. We allowed the kid to rob Walmart and run out for no issues and didn't arrest them and all that. We are allowing all this, dog. Like, and when the person steps in, like myself, Jeff, Smitty, whatever, and we don't agree with it and we step in to stop it, shit, we're the ones getting persecuted. Like, this is just an backward fucking society we're in. And they're trying to silence us. They don't want you to say it. And it is what it is. And I just can't do it. There's no way. I can't do it. But I don't know. Long Beach State fires their coach. He gets into the tournament. Has that ever happened before? Like, I know they mutually agreed in all this to departing. I guess they mutually agreed to departing ways and all that. I love Munson yesterday. He was at his home in Long Beach, and he had his whole team over there. And it's like, damn, like, I think they still like the coach, dog.
I think
what I'm saying? They still like him, dog.
I think that's what it tells you. Now, look, I think Dan's in his late 60s or early 70s. He might be, I don't know. Maybe he decided, hey, this is going to be my last year. Let's go out. We don't really know. Look, if they were going to fire him, this would probably be a good idea to bring him back. It's clear they want to play for him. But my guess is he's probably looking to retire at this point. But hey, good for him, man. Great way to go out, if you will. And Dan's only 62. He's not late 60s. We'll see. Do I think they can beat Arizona? Look, anything's possible. This is an Arizona team. Remember, last year lost to Princeton. So, this. I'll tell you right now, they're not a strong 2-seed to me. Arizona is weak, in my opinion. I think they'll beat Long Beach. They have that chip on their shoulder losing last year, but great story for them.
Hey, real quick, contrary to belief, Atina, I appreciate you watching the show, but I don't care if you agree with me or not. Like, I don't know if you guys understand this. Like, I really don't care. I don't lose sleep if you agree with me or not. I actually want you to disagree with me and then have a conversation about the disagreement, which would create a great conversation. But instead, we get butt hurt when I say I don't care, and then you just leave. That's what society has become. I don't care. I promise you, Atina, and I love you, Tatina. I'm not losing sleep over you not fucking liking what I agree with or disagree with or whatever. I don't give a fuck. Like, this is the problem. We don't have any conversations anymore about disagreeing and agreeing. I used to have homies that were Democrats and Republicans, and we used to chill in the barbershop and argue and disagree. And if we cracked off, we had each other's back. Nowadays, I hate the Republicans. I hate the Democrats. It's worse than Crips and Bloods, homie. Like, it's worse than the fucking mob. Like, it's unbelievable how we've separated this country, Jeff. Like, we want everyone to go this way, or everyone else is fucking, you're dead to me. You're Tiki Barber to me. Like, it's unbelievable, dog. Like, I just don't get it. Like, I don't understand it.
But this is the good thing, though. And remember this. This is what you can all remember. Luckily, in my house, it's always going to be what I want it to be. That's why that's great. We always have our little bubble, if you will. The world can fucking burn, you know. And listen, I know long term, and this is nothing against America. I love America. I think it's a great country. I just have always seen myself living somewhere else. I guess that's how I look at it. And that's what a lot of people are doing nowadays. They're giving up on the dream of living the rest of their life here, which is sad.
Here's why I say that before we go to basketball. And I appreciate you coming on and listen, here's what I say. This is what I think that we're doing. Like, so I had this one particular woman, finally a woman, disagree with my women shouldn't coach take in the NFL, right? So she was real boisterous on Instagram. And come to find out, I was having a great conversation with the broad. And I was like, hey, look, you know, it is what it is. I have no I don't want to disrespect women. I'm not talking about any of that. I just don't believe you understand what I'm saying. I am telling you that there's not a sport that you play that we don't, but we do play a sport that you don't. And she took it a whole nother way, right? Well, I peeped her profile, which I never usually do. And this is my point to having to agree or disagree with somebody you don't, you know, respect or appreciate or just have a conversation with. She has a rainbow on her profile, number one. So be it. I don't care what denomination you are, race, creed, color, gender. I don't care. But my point is we're pushing a narrative that only I like, and I cannot even discuss or have a conversation with the other side because it's an automatic disagreement because of my beliefs that's on my profile picture on Instagram. She had a rainbow. She has a son, Smitty, get this, who's a boy, but competing versus women in swimming. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So I already know where this is going. And I'm sitting here thinking, and I tell her, Jeff, so let me get this straight. You're mad at me because I said women can't coach in the NFL, but you have a fucking biological boy competing versus girls in sports? Are you fucking delusional? Like, this is the world we're in, homie. And I'm telling you right now, it's exhausting. Like, it's fucking exhausting me. And I'm not going to shut up, so that's probably going to exhaust me more. But that is who we're dealing with, dog. Like, telling you, it's crazy. That's the woman, though. So I finally blocked her because there's no beating. You're not going to ever get through to any of them. Back in the day, I would be able to get through to somebody, Smitty. That's recruiting. That's what's called recruiting. Like, I'm going to get through to you. You know how many broads have told me no? And I had fucking anal that night with them? Like, no means yes, motherfucker. I'm going to get you through. I'm going to recruit you. Like, come on, man. Anyway, let's dive into Smitty. I don't know why you're laughing. Let's dive
Recruiting is easier to do in person than it is in social media. You're not going to win nobody over through a text or DM or message on social media because it's just you don't have that in-person.
You know another thing?
If you was face-to-face though, I still believe that recruiting still works, but we don't.
That's what's happened though. Social media has protected that. Right. It's hurted and protected the coward.
But you know another thing, and I know we want to get on to the games, but one thing that I've also noticed that I see is very pervasive now in our society and really on the internet is, you know, most people don't like seeing other people doing something, right? So like, and I relate this because I did something last night. I was curious. I put a video on YouTube of me and a girl hanging out the other night. Out of let's say 10 comments, 9 were, oh, how much you pay her? Oh, it's not like, yo, good for you, man. Like, have a great time. You know, I don't understand these people that, like, I would never see, like, if I see Coach JB with a fire ass chick or Darnell, whatever, I would say, yo, good for you, man. I'm happy for you. Like, people don't, it's so quick to, fuck you, scumbag. Look at you look like a fat, like, it's weird, bro. Well, what has happened to just like being, hey, good for you, man.
Let me ask you guys real quick, Jeff, to that point, you and JB, and be real. Do you? Because like, all right, I'm gonna use JB as the example. JB puts out this certain energy, one from Last Chance U, and then two from this show where, like, you know, JB cusses, he gets loud. Yeah. So naturally, fans, quote unquote, when they interact with JB or even you sometimes, Jeff, I feel like they want attention. So they try to say something or do something that they feel like would naturally either something that they think you guys would like and agree to. So, like, for example, a fan in the chat might disagree with me because me and JB are going at it, and they'll say something like, "Oh yeah, Darnell just sound like a motherfucking shitbird." Yeah, I got you. Like they'll try to sound like their version or their mentality of who they think JB is, so he can like relate to him, or they'll just say some bullshit to JB or yourself, just so either way is for attention. Is what I'm.
I think one thing we have to remember though is we all are people, and right, we all have a life, we all have a girl, a wife, a kid, whatever. Yeah. So I get it's the internet, but it's like we've accepted it as no, it's just normal. You have to take that, you know. And it's like I just have noticed.
It's not normal. Yeah,
it's very pervasive now.
Yeah. I'll sum it up like this when we move on to basketball. Like,
so we keep saying that, we keep going.
I like real conversation. This is what I say though. I get secondhand embarrassment for any grown person, man or woman, to judge another man and his or her profession without ever being in it, without ever meeting that person, without ever knowing the person. Like, they've never met Jeff or the broad he was with, and yet they know everything about him. She's paid. He's a scrub. And then they've never met him though. And then they've never met me. They did not know Netflix was edited at all. They think it was just straight. No, they edited it how they wanted. It was real me, but they edited me and made you get things they wanted you to see.
They showed one small side of you, and they made that who you were.
You saw 16 hours of me, and they filmed me for 3,500 hours. So my point is, we don't see Jeff outside of this hour on Mondays and Fridays, except if you follow Jeff on his show and see him, but you're seeing a sample size. You don't see Smitty at Fox working. You see him do some certain thing. You don't see me at all unless I do some dumb, crazy, corny video I fuck around with. That's what you know. But you saw me on Netflix, and that's really my judgmental audience, right? That's who's judging me. They act like they know me. And then all the friends, the homies, everyone's like, that's regular JB. Mo in here, who played with me in college, that's JB. Like, that motherfucker's never changed. That's the same dude he always has been. I refuse to be an actor. I'm not an actor. I'm not I don't want to be fake either, and I don't want to remember anything, so I don't lie. So, like, I'm trying to figure out why we have to accept, like, you to be fake. I don't want to be fake, and I'm not going to accept it. You don't know what I do. Like, you've never met me, Jeff or Smitty. You don't know what we do. You don't know our broads. You don't know anything. And yet you're sitting there making assumptions on social media, and then the masses actually listen to you, a nobody that has 1 million followers because you just have 1 million followers because you made some TikTok video that, you know, prank somebody. Like, come on. You're a nobody, though. Absolute nobody. And that's the people we follow in this world. We're following nobodies, dog. Like, just get it. Like, Jeff, for instance, we showed a video earlier of a TikToker, an absolute fucking nobody. He came out. I love calling people nobodies, by the way. There's no better word than calling a dude a fucking.
That's the lowest thing.
It's nobody. Jeff, he said 6 months ago, just 6 months ago, he said on a video that Justin Fields was absolute trash. Have you seen this video?
No, I haven't.
Show this, Bailey. Fuck it.
Well, it's about time I victory lap this shit. Justin Fields is fucking ass. The shit I heard from you Bears fans this offseason was crazy.
Look at that, Jeff. Fast forward 6 months.
Come on now. Steeler Nation, we got our fucking guy. Give me the most talented and raw quarterback in the NFL. Justin Fields had no way to succeed in Chicago. He didn't have a number one receiver.
Bailey. Can you play the second? Can you play the second video from the top one more time? You see how why he come in a video like this, JB? Like.
Yes, these are who we listen to, though.
Come on now, Steeler Nation, we got our fucking guy. Give me.
this is again another issue. We are never supposed we don't ever walk back anything we say. For instance, do you know what I said about Patrick Mahomes when he came into college football or into the NFL? Do you know what I said about him?
What?
There's no way in hell he will ever succeed in the NFL. I've had to walk that back. Have you guys ever seen the video I did when Jalen Hurts got drafted? It went viral. Did you ever see it?
Mm-hmm.
Ellie, you can find that. It's very easy. Jeff Nadu, Jalen Hurts video. Bro, I couldn't believe it that they drafted him. I was cursing it. I've had to live with that forever. I said Luke Falk had Tom Brady like tendencies. I said that. I said a lot of bad shit. I've had to walk it all back because that's what I have to do. That's my life. But these
you don't gotta walk it back. You just have to say, okay,
we're wrong. Bro.
Yeah, it's okay to say you're wrong, though. Like, it's okay.
But what you're doing is admitting you're wrong. You don't have to say that I'm not that guy, though.
But you got losers like that guy who will then like act like they didn't do it. Like it's so weird and bizarre.
I don't get it. But anyway, and then the people forget that. But then they'll tell me, oh, I made a video just over the weekend. I didn't think Justin Fields would leave Chicago. I thought it was smoke and mirrors when they got rid of Pickett.
Right.
I'm like, Justin's staying now. And I forgot, though, that we live in a non-competitive era where, fuck it. They're not going to bring in Caleb and him. Smitty and I had a whole debate already. So they just got rid of him. And now everyone, that aged well. Yeah, because I had the nuts to go out and give you an educated opinion on something, you fucks. Where was your opinion?
Well,
you didn't have one.
This goes back to we always talk about the negative. We never like look if I have, let's say I go 22-2 in my college basketball picks.
Oh yeah.
No one will ever come back and be like, hey, great job, man. Even though they were there to bash me when I was losing. It's just how it is. People are negative in general. But I know this. If I see anybody in these commenters, they live their life and are having a good life, I will say good luck to you. I don't want to hate on anyone. I want look, if we all succeed, maybe we'll get to beat up this tyrannical shit we have to deal with. Maybe someday we'll all get to win in the end. That's the goal. We're all just Americans in the end. I don't get the whole like wanting to see everybody fail. And you know what? We're related to the streets too. People are like this in the streets. Rappers are being killed every other day. You know why? Because they're doing something these fucking people aren't doing. So instead of it saying, hey, good for them, they go out and shoot them in the fucking head. That's the sad thing about this world. If I can't have it, neither can you. That's how people think nowadays. It's a shame.
We got 15 minutes, guys. Let's do a live pick 'em. We'll just go through the first round. We'll do another one Friday because the tournament starts when? 21st. When is that?
3 days.
So Thursday?
I think so.
Thursday. So Friday we can touch on these games. Thursday and Friday, I think the games are right. So let's pick Thursday, and then Friday we'll do it Friday. But Thursday's first round games, obviously, UConn Stetson. I think we know where we're going there. I want to get to the games that are teeter-totters, Jeff, that you have to actually use your fucking betting, prowess to pick. San Diego State, UAB, and FAU Northwestern. I know I saw you specific. You think I don't listen? I watch. I know you said you don't even agree FAU should be in it. Where are you at with FAU Northwestern and San Diego State UAB? I think UAB is better than a 12. Just from watching and seeing all the things that I've looked at them, I think that's a hell of a matchup, a 12-5. And I think FAU Northwestern's a good matchup.
Well, here's the thing, and this is to me why I think sometimes we don't think enough about the bracket and why like an 8-9 game, at least FAU Northwestern, to me, it doesn't mean a whole lot to me in my bracket. I'm not going to, take 2 hours to figure out the winner because I don't think either are going to beat UConn. So I don't think it's going to matter too much. Now, if I'm looking at a perfect bracket and I have to pick every game, these are about as even teams as you can get. The problem that Northwestern has coming into this tournament kind of beat up a little bit. Multiple kids were out in their tournament game against Wisconsin. So I need to have them fully healthy. If they're not fully healthy, I can't pick them in this spot. I think FAU will win one game, but it'll be game set match against UConn. So the game doesn't mean too much. As far as UAB, San Diego State, look, a lot of people like the 5-12 upset. A lot of people thought San Diego State would lose last year to Charleston. That didn't happen. UAB is an interesting team, kind of an unlikely team out of the AAC. Won 3 games in 3 days to get there. This is a bad matchup to me, though. UAB kind of wants to turn the tempo up, downhill, more up tempo. San Diego State's going to make them play in the half court, kind of like they always do. They'll grind this game down to a halt. I just don't think UAB can score consistently against UAB or against San Diego State. I like SDSU to move on here.
Where are you at with BYU Duquesne? Is that a possibility? Because I know you like BYU a little bit.
It's going to be a blowout.
This is too small. Probably too small to see, huh, Smitty?
I got to tell you, this might surprise a lot of people. This is an upset I took. I like Duquesne here for a couple of reasons. Brigham Young is hard to back in this tournament because they're very reliant on making threes. If threes go in, they'll beat anybody. But if threes don't go in, they can lose to anybody. Duquesne has one of the best three-point defenses in the country. Two guards in Day Grant and Jimmy Clark that are really good. Jimmy Clark came over from VCU, a very kind of harassing type of player. Just a good three-point defense. They're well coached, very blue-collar. Not going to blow you off the radar offensively, but defensively, they're very good in the half court. And Brigham Young, you can score against. Something tells me Duquesne hang around. I think they could pull off an upset here.
Ooh, I like that one. I got another one for you, man. So what's up with Washington State and Drake? I think it's a 7th and a 10th seed. I mean, two teams who had a really good season. Is there any upset alert there for Washington State or what?
To me, I don't think this is an upset. This is a coin flip. I think this is the toughest game in the entire field. Drake is really good on offense. Tucker DeVries is a great player, plays for his father. They don't turn the ball over. They value it well. Washington State, I've been a big proponent of them as well under Kyle Smith. I thought they at times were the best team in the Pac-12 this year. Two good offenses, two great defenses. I had a hard time with this one. I think just on the better team with the best player, I'll lean Drake here. But this to me is the hardest matchup of the entire tournament.
Is the East bracket the best by far?
Yeah, I would say so.
You got UConn, Florida Atlantic,
Iowa State,
Auburn, BYU,
Illinois, Drake, Washington State, Auburn can beat anybody, I think. I mean, all right, Jeff. That's being said on that side. Let me go on this side. Houston, of course, we expect them to go. A&M and Nebraska. Two good teams. I think Nebraska is very underrated. I think you've said some things about them. Their three-point shooting is a problem. A&M as well. I saw them get dominated by Florida, but they get in as a 9. That 8-9 matchup there. Which one do you like there?
Yeah, I took A&M here. I'm actually a really big fan of this team. I think, look, on the surface, they're not a great offensive team, but here's the thing, guys. Whenever a team plays A&M, I look at the other team's ability to rebound. Texas A&M is number 1 in America in offensive rebound rate. They rebound 42% of their misses, just an insane number. They create more possessions for themselves. This is not a good rebounding team in Nebraska. I really worry about that matchup for them. They're more of a perimeter-oriented team, as you alluded to. Throw in the fact that A&M lives at the free throw line. And again, to me, they have the best player. Wade Taylor is the best player in this game. I'll also say, if Houston advances and A&M advance, Houston better watch out. Houston played A&M this season. It was a 70-66 win by Houston, and Texas A&M didn't have their second-best player, Tyrese Radford. That could be a really interesting game for Houston. They could have some trouble with that one. I like A&M to win against Nebraska.
Hey, everybody in the chat saying A&M could play defense. They gave up 105 versus Florida in the fucking semi.
Yeah, that's true. Keep in mind, though, they are more defensive-oriented. Look, Florida plays very fast. You get into a run up-and-down game with them. They couldn't drop 100 on you. But my advice would, don't let 1 or 2 games cloud your judgment.
Right.
For long-term. Recency bias is a thing, and generally it doesn't mean too much. We have to completely forget what we saw a lot of the time because everything's kind of rebranded and put out there.
Hey, do you have any concern about Vermont at all, or is that a gimme?
Yeah, that was my question. I've heard Jeff talk highly about Vermont. Is this a problem?
Well, listen, Vermont really played well in this tournament. John Becker is one of the best coaches you don't know of. He constantly has his teams in the NCAA tournament. I don't think Duke will have problems here. The problem that Vermont has is they can't exploit the softness of Duke, particularly Filipowski, some of those guys. This is a tough team, though, Vermont. They have a couple of transfers that can make shots. They don't turn the ball over. They very much value it. They're kind of a Duke light, if you will. My concern remains, though. I think this could be close maybe before half, but Now Duke should be able to move on here. Vermont's
So
always tough.
Florida don't have an opponent, right? So they're waiting on the play-in.
Correct. They would play the winner of Colorado, Boise.
I don't even know. How does that work? They're a 7 seed waiting on a team. I don't get that.
Well, listen, I was surprised that Boise was in a play-in game. That really made me think. I mean, I get Colorado because Colorado, had to really kind of rally towards the end of the year. They were a bubble team, but Boise should not be in a play-in game. That's a joke.
And then North Carolina is waiting for an opponent.
And Purdue as well, I believe, is waiting.
And Texas as well, I believe. So
correct.
That's interesting. But let me ask you, let's dive into the lower bracket here, into the West. Mississippi State, Michigan State. Mississippi State, from what I know and saw against Auburn, plays very, very physical. Apparently that's their MO. They're a physical bunch.
Yeah.
Do they beat Michigan State?
Yeah, I'll try to say this and not sound really gay when I say it. So Mississippi State as a kid, Tolu Smith. When I tell you I've never seen a specimen in real life like him, I mean it. This guy he's like, it's crazy. He's like built like I've never seen before.
Cam Newton.
What do you like most about him, Jeff?
He's just like, he's a guy you look at and you're like, wow. Like wow, And I don't mean like the way he's just like a specimen.
Yeah.
Is it a similar feeling like when you first like met me? You were like, damn, like fucking Big Smitty.
Well, I haven't met you yet, but I might have that feeling. I've only felt that about. I saw him when I was at Barstool. We had that invitation. I saw it. It's insane. He is physical, and that's a great way to say it, JB. They are a very physical team. Another team, guys. When I look at who they're playing, can they rebound the basketball? Very good on the glass, Mississippi State. They're grabbing, I want to say, around 38% of their misses, very high. Another team that struggles to rebound is Michigan State. I just don't see it with Michigan State. I think they take on the same tack as their coach. Woe is me. We hate everything. We're just not good enough. I'm just not a Michigan State guy. I think Mississippi State wins. But this is another game. Very tough. Very tough.
All right, let's move on to Grand Canyon. Obviously, they have a coach that some people out there know. I like the fact that he's taken over this program here.
Right.
They have the 5 seed St. Mary's. A lot of people are picking Grand Canyon to advance and make a move. Bryce Drew's done a good job here. Obviously, we know him from his Valpo days and then made a run in the tournament as a coach. Do you like Grand Canyon at all, or are they hyped?
No, I definitely like Grand Canyon. It sucks because I really love both these teams. Ty and Grant Foster is a kid that at Grand Canyon that will be in the NBA. He's that good. That said, St. Mary's is so hard to break down. They are such an elite defense. Randy Bennett's a hell of a coach. And offensively, they're just a real bull to play against. They're going to be really slow. They're going to take the air out of the ball. They're going to really make you work every possession. They're just a tough team to play for and prepare for. I think Grand Canyon will hang here. Do I ultimately think they beat St. Mary's? I don't think they do. I think St. Mary's is just a better team. I think they'll move on. There's a lot of people that also like McNeese to beat Gonzaga. Look, I like McNeese, and I'm sure we'll get to that game. But I'll tell you why it's not going to happen when we get to it. But no, I don't see an upset here, no.
There's 2 more games in this bracket that are interesting. Clemson, New Mexico. New Mexico beats San Diego State. Rick Pitino's kid, I believe, is the coach there.
Yeah.
Pedigree's there, obviously. And then you have Dayton, Nevada. Break those 2 real quick.
Well, New Mexico Clemson's going to be a high-scoring game. 2 teams, very guard-oriented. Neither play a whole hell of a lot of defense. I really worry about Clemson's guards defending New Mexico's guards. New Mexico's got some kids, man. Jalen House, Jamal Mashburn. They've got some really good guards there. I think they'll win. As far as Dayton, Nevada, Dayton is better offensively this year than they've been in years past. They had a great team a couple of years ago with Obi Toppin. This isn't as good as that offense, but it's pretty damn good. Nevada, get to the free throw line a lot, but Dayton doesn't put you on the line. Nevada really needs to get to the free throw line to have success. This is a really just kind of high IQ Dayton defense. I think Dayton's a little bit better than Nevada. I think Dayton will win. I think New Mexico will win.
Okay,
now,
let's
listen,
go.
man. Going to the Midwest real quick, man. You know me. I've been high on Purdue. I feel like this is the year they're supposed to do it all. if I'm not mistaken, they lost in a kind of an upset in the tourney. I know you said the tourney doesn't matter as much. You know, I think it was a 1-point loss, but still, it's not, you know, the type of momentum you want going into the tournament. Obviously, they're still waiting to see who they're going to play first round, but just in general, like, is Purdue still your favorite? I think me and you were on the same page, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, listen, I will say, I mean, in my preliminary bracket, I do have Purdue getting to the national title game. I just, again, think that chip on that shoulder that they have, again, I don't care about the conference tournaments. It just doesn't mean anything to me. We have to remember, if you watch Purdue, you know this, they are just officiated different than everybody else. Okay, they get calls. It's just how it works. And I remember when Purdue was in Maui, at the Maui Invitational, kind of the gold standard of early non-conference basketball. I picked Purdue in every game against Tennessee and against Marquette because they have one thing that those teams don't have, Zach Edey. And at the end of the day, there's just not a team that I think can really combat what he does. Throw in that I think the difference between them last year and this year, Braden Smith, the guard, is much better. Lance Jones is a dogged defender who they didn't have last year. I just think Purdue is elite. And look, I get it, the Matt Painter stuff. I just think this is a different team. I think they are the favorite. That means UConn, sure.
Is there the 8 and 9s are always talked about matchups. Utah State's pretty good team from what I hear, and so is TCU. Where are you at with that matchup?
Well, listen, if you know me, you've watched me all year. I hate TCU. I just hate this team at every level. As far as Utah State, I think they'll win. They have a player called Great Osabor. He is a mammoth on the block. I don't know if TCU can combat him. I think they have enough. That was a good team, Utah State. They were the number 1 seed in the Mountain West, a good Mountain West. They're going to bully you on the block, and they're gonna beat you up. They're another physical team. I think though they're going to struggle the next round against Purdue. But yeah, I have Utah State winning. TCU just doesn't do it for me. I don't think they're good enough defensively. I like Utah State.
The last two real quick before we get out of here. Samford, KU. Is that really that serious of a discussion? Everyone's like, there's people on the mainstream media platforms picking Samford as an upset bid. That was their pick of the thing, blah, blah, blah. And then South Carolina, Oregon. How intriguing is that one?
I think the thought about Kansas is they're injured coming into this tournament. Dickinson and McCullough didn't play in the conference tournament. They're kind of a walking wounded group. And, you know, look, if you know anything about Samford, they play a really heavy pace. They're very good offensively. And Samford is a team who, in the betting markets, sharp bettors, smart bettors, came in and took them right away to cover the 9.5. It's now down to 7.5, which is a strong indication that smarter people like them. That said, winning compared to covering 7.5, 8 points, a lot different. I need to see who's playing for Kansas before I pick an upset here. But yeah, I could see where Samford could be an upset-minded team. But here's the issue. Samford played one really good team this year, Purdue. It was 98-45, Purdue. So
talk about an ass kicking.
South Carolina, Oregon. Intriguing or no?
No, not too much. I don't think it means too much because I don't think either of these teams will beat Creighton. South Carolina, this is a low-scoring game. I thought under right when I saw this matchup. South Carolina plays super slow. They make you grind it out in the half court. Oregon will zone you. You have to be able to make shots. That's not one of South Carolina's fortes. I think this is a lower-scoring game. That was my first thought. Someone's asked about Oakland, Kentucky. There's one thing you should never do in college basketball, and that is zone Kentucky. They're an elite zone offense. Yeah, they can make shots all over the place. And Oakland plays a zone. It's not a good matchup for Oakland. That said, Oakland can hang in the game because Kentucky can't guard me, Smitty, Bailey, JB, and a listener. They're just not good on the defense. I think it's a high-scoring game, but you don't want to zone Kentucky.
Hey, I know before we leave, you wanted to talk about a certain team, McNeese, Gonzaga. Do you break that down real quick before we get out of here?
I've not seen one talking head say that Gonzaga can win this game. Look, I love McNeese. I love Will Wade. Shahada Wells is a dog. That said, I just don't see it here. I think this is a bad matchup for McNeese. Gonzaga is, as usual, very good offensively. I remember a couple of months ago, there was talk Gonzaga wouldn't make the tournament. They're a 5 seed. They're there and they're just fine. McNeese is tough, but look, they just didn't play a real high quality team all year. Gonzaga played Purdue. They played Marquette type team, Tennessee's, those kind of teams. That prepares you for this type of game. I think McNeese has a lot of trouble here defensively. Gonzaga will win this game.
I know the women are. I have the head coach for Ole Miss on tomorrow. Coach Yo should be on the show. Her women are traveling to South Bend, I believe, first round to play. We're gonna have her on. But is this a year that women may get more viewership than the men in the tournament because of the Caitlin Clark and the women are just on a viewing spike right now? Is this a year that women are gonna get more talked about than the men?
Well, I think what they better hope for is that
Iowa has a run.
But let me ask you, if Iowa loses, they better hope that doesn't happen. They need Iowa to make a nice run here because let's just be real. I mean, when Caitlin Clark goes out, no one's going to care, right? I mean, it was great last year because they went all the way to the title game, I think.
Yeah.
The Angel Reeses, they don't, and obviously they're interesting and exciting, but I don't think they have the same. They played each other, so it was big last year. They've got to hope that. And
South Carolina is on a mission.
Yeah.
It sounds
undefeated.
like. Yeah. I mean,
South Carolina, LSU, if they face each other, I think that can draw some views because we saw how the regular season game went. They got into a little fight. So it's like three teams: Iowa, South Carolina, and LSU. I think those are the three teams that got to make it forward to keep the hype going.
Are you wearing a Furby on your shirt, dude?
JB's a different type of dude, bro. He's a different type of dude, bro.
Are you wearing a Furby on your shirt?
Gremlin.
Oh, okay.
That's
Furby.
Gremlin. Hey, Jeff, you know about all, and I only because of the West Coast and all that, but UCLA women are really good. USC, Stanford, Colorado women. There's a couple out here on the West that are intriguing, but can any of them beat South Carolina?
I got to tell you, and I'm never afraid to say this, I couldn't tell you. I don't watch women's basketball. I can't say I watch it. I've seen Caitlin Clark play, Angel Reese, but I can't say I know anything about it. I couldn't tell you who's good and who's not.
Well, I had it politically correct to ask the question, but I don't give a fuck either.
I know. So, why have you here, though, guys? Can I just say one thing off kind of topic here? So you guys are both live. You're not from there, but one of you is from there. I watched over the weekend. I have 10 movies that I think are just better than everything else. One of them I watched over the weekend, and I further believe that this is one of the top 5 movies of all time. It does not get near enough love. American History X is a masterpiece.
Oh, shit.
Like just a masterpiece.
That first 10 minutes, that first scene.
Teeth on the curb.
But let me ask you something. Put yourself just for a second.
Shit.
In terms of someone robbing your home and looking to kill you, was he wrong? Now, obviously, we don't believe his views, but in killing that individual, was he wrong? The guy was trying to rob him and steal his things.
I hear you. I ain't seen that movie since I was like 13 years old, though. And I watched it one time, and as a black man, I can't watch this shit again.
It was
a good movie, though. I know what you mean. It was a really good movie. I
got to ask you, Jeff. You have to watch. Have you ever seen Road to Perdition yet?
You keep telling me no. I need to watch it. It's a gangster film. I need to watch it.
You gotta watch it, Jeff. It's an in-depth look behind Frank Nitti and Capone.
Sure.
With some guys that were lower tier that you never really heard about that were just straight up.
That's Tom Hanks, right?
Yeah, plays one of the coldest characters I've ever seen. It's got some OG actors in it. You got to watch it, man. It is really, really fucking good.
JB, do you have a copy of it on VHS or DVD? Because no, for real, I'm coming by JB's house, so I just found out, JB. I'm telling you live on the show. I am off of work on Friday, so I am coming to your house on Friday, whether you're there or not. I don't care if you have plans. I don't care whatever plans you got. Throw them in the fucking trash. I'm coming to your house. We're gonna watch the movie.
You know what you should do, right? You know what you should do if you
say, come over Thursday, spend the night. I know you have But we need a whole fucking camera crew there. Like,
why? No, we don't. I got mics and everything right here. We can both sit right here.
We're gonna be right next to it like this, though. Like,
no, what about the lounge, homie? I got a full setup in the lounge. Cigar lounge, smoke stick, drink some coffee.
But is the camera's gonna be? Is the camera's gonna be cameraing though?
I got 4 cameras.
You gotta call Rory, I think, to make sure we got it like legit.
Man,
though.
I can get it set. No, I don't even need that. Enoch has it all set up, ready in the lounge all the time.
Let me say this: once basketball's over, I'm gonna come out and see you guys soon. I gotta get out there, take some time. Also, I saw something on TikTok that was interesting. What's one thing that went away that we just don't hear about anymore?
Blockbuster.
I was gonna say along those lines, like an A to Z video type of place.
Kmart.
Malls.
You know who killed that?
Wow.
Redbox.
Oh yeah.
And then Netflix.
And then Redbox got killed by Netflix, and then that guy made like $1 billion, folded. He's set for life. Netflix blocked that out, or he basically killed that. And then now Netflix has got competition with every other streaming device. I believe streaming devices and I got more memberships or subscriptions than I can imagine. I don't even know how to manage them all. Like I'm just gonna delete them all. Fuck it. It's stupid now. It's become so dumb.
But yeah, go ahead and pull up, Jeff. Jeff, by the way, I know you're a busy man. You and JB need to at least once a week just peek inside the Discord. You know, we got the main Discord and we got the sub Discord channels that I can't let this name on here. But your names have been brought up a lot over the weekend for positive reasons.
What happened?
I'm trying to like. I gotta be real.
I know. Was it? I didn't see it at the first. But
No. Positive. Just say that. So we're in a separate.
No,
channel.
I'm gonna say. Listen,
all right. So you know what I'm talking about.
Hold on. I was gonna say, is it one of those? I didn't see it at first, but Nadu's kind of attractive. I like him.
But but not. Fuckta didn't see it at first. They saw it at first. You got some winners in there who like shit.
Wait, why am I gotta get in there.
You gotta get in there. It's gotten active. It's pictures and dropped.
Wait. What? Don't fuck with me.
They been trying to talk to you, Jeff. You ain't. And JB, same thing. JB never in there. He not in the main Discord. He not in the sub. I be trying to like keep us alive, and I'm the only one in there.
You're talking about the special Discord.
That's what I'm really talking about. But
why have I not seen that?
Because you ain't been in that thing. You ain't been in that.
Well, I'm just gonna say, Discord freaks me out. I've heard some really disgusting stories about Discord. Like now I'm talking about like really fucked up shit. So I generally stay out of there, but I gotta get it just to get in.
Yeah, it's just once a week.
See, I can't see it now because I'm only joining now. It'll be all history, so I can't.
No, is that how that works?
You can go back.
No, you can go back.
Okay, well then I'm in.
You got a lot to catch up on though, so you might need some
hour and look through.
Yeah, but no, for real, I'm coming over this Friday at least. We can talk about the Thursday night situation and figure all that out. Grady Dick and then the other player right here.
Is that Anthony Black? I think
Anthony Black and Grady Dick or something like that. So.
Man, did you think they knew that, or they just did it by chance?
There's a video of them talking before, and then one of them was like, "Man, fuck it," and they knew what they were doing. They planned it perfectly. They knew what they were doing. So
I think AB or Antonio Brown used it and said like something.
Hey, Antonio Brown, this dude is wild on Twitter. I ain't gonna lie, some of the shit be funny though, but he is wild on Twitter.
See, the thing about these like goofy trolls like him is like the only one that's actually funny is 50 Cent. 50 Cent's funny with the shit he said. But like everyone else tries to be him, but they're not.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, Jeff, I got to do, since we're already over, can I do a hell yeah, hell no with Jeff real quick, Smitty?
Real quick, and I got to go, JB. Stop playing with me.
Thank you, Dad. So,
hey, Smitty, as they say, you can tip one out whenever you want.
But if I leave all the ratings on drive, it's going to fuck the whole show up. So,
what do you got,
Jeff? I'm the Caitlin Clark of this show. If I leave, fuck it. It's over.
Jeff, hell yeah, hell nah. Justin Fields' career is over.
No.
Hell no.
No, hell no.
Hell
no.
Right.
Hell yeah, hell no. The Bears continue to be irrelevant.
Hell no. They're actually relevant now, whether you love the move or not. You're going to pay attention to them.
Hell yeah, hell no. The Lakers will miss the playoffs.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to say hell no. The league is going to find a way to get LeBron in there. Hell no.
They're fucking trash. Hey, Jeff, let me ask you a question we started the show with, and I had a take, and I want to ask you a take real quick since we're over hours already. And
real quick, Bailey, check your DM. You got to play that video before we got. I need JV's opinion on that. It's in your Twitter DM, Bailey.
Real quick, Jeff, why don't the NBA foul at the end of the games to extend the game and try to win the game? Why do they not try to win the games in the NBA anymore? I had a former Division I women's head coach at my house over the weekend, and we literally talked about this, and I find it very astonishing. We will refuse to foul a shitty free throw shooter, put him on the line, extend the game as we once used to do. We used to be on our feet and standing up like fucking foul. Let's go.
See, then you get like the college stuff where they're down 12 and they're fouling. So no,
but in college, at least they are fouling, trying to win. It still matters.
But for people like me, it fucks with what I'm doing because I'm getting a team getting 9.
I told you it was about gambling and betting. I told you they will fuck. They're fucking this thing up.
Play that video, Bailey.
It's in. Let's play it.
So funny. That's JB.
Fucking right is me.
Hold on. Which one is JB? Which one?
He's the guy looking like at the guy.
You know who it is. Hey, real quick, we got to talk to you on something before we leave. All of us. RG3 is back in the news with his fucking garbage ass. Keep drinking, Smitty.
Williams should pull a Eli Manning and demand that the Chicago Bears do not draft him #1 overall. After everything that's happened with Justin Fields, can Caleb Williams really look at that and say, you know what? This is the organization that has my best interest at heart, and they're going to help develop me into the player that I want to become. Caleb Williams is on record saying that he wants to be legendary. He wants to rewrite history, and he wants to be the best that he can possibly be and win the most games he can possibly win. After the Bears took Justin Fields, the 11th pick in the draft, and turned him into a 6th round pick in the 2025 draft by trading him to the Pittsburgh Steelers, can Caleb Williams really look at that and say, you know what? Yeah, this organization is going to help get me where I want to go. I don't think it's saying that. Eli Manning had power in that 2004 draft. And he let the Chargers know, don't draft me. I don't believe in the direction that your organization is going, and I don't want to play there. He refused to play for them, even threatened to sit out an entire season if they drafted him. And they still drafted him. And the look on his face when he's holding up the jersey said everything. So what happened? The Chargers traded him to the New York Giants for
Smitty.
He's actually right.
What is behind them, though?
There's little, yeah, I've seen them before.
What are those?
It's probably one of the sponsors though, low key.
Are those Pokemon?
No, it's not Pokemon.
Little toys or something.
Pokemon. Some little toys. He got kids and stuff. It's probably a sponsor or something like that. For being real.
Yeah.
But, toys or something, I think.
First of all, we're comparing Caleb Williams, the next Kyler Murray mental midget in all shapes, sizes, and forms, to a Manning, who's a Manning of a Manning. Let me say it again. He's a Manning who was a Manning brother to the Manning son, and he has a Manning name. Stop comparing fucking Caleb Williams to a Manning.
Eli Manning, as much as I love the Mannings, Eli Manning wasn't just some phenomenal quarterback.
You missed my point again. He's a Manning. Caleb Williams is not a fucking Manning. He's not anybody. He paints his nails.
But his point was right. How can you expect that they're going to develop a quarterback when they just took a quarterback and didn't develop?
I disagree. I say his point is wrong because Caleb Williams is an absolute fucking nobody. Why would you allow a nobody to demand anything? He is a glaring red flag. Look at him.
But that doesn't mean he's a red. Just because he paints his nails don't mean he's a red flag. What?
Well, I'm not taking him. Shit.
Well, I don't like it, but it don't mean he can't play necessarily. I guess what I'm saying is, in the event that Caleb did do this, though, like let's lean on that side. Forget like lean on that side. What if Caleb really did this? And think about the position he would put Chicago in. They've already traded Justin Fields because they are assuming that they have Caleb. So imagine if Caleb did that. He said, "I'm not playing." How screwed would the Chicago Bears be, and how shitty would it just look as a franchise that you just lost all quarterbacks? Wouldn't that be that would be the biggest headline of sports for months. But I doubt it'll happen though. Jeff, I know you got to go, man. I know you got a busy day. I know I got to go as well, man. JB, man, it's been a phenomenal show. Start Monday, y'all. We had a great fan base on our Twitter, on YouTube, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. If you ain't subscribed, just subscribe. Become a member of the Discord. Just about to be more active in the Discord. JB, I'm gonna make his ass be more active in the Discord. He has no choice. I'm coming over to JB house Friday. He wants me to come in there Thursday, stay the night. We got to figure all that out. But I'll be over there this Friday for sure, no matter what he has going on. His plans are canceled. We're going to watch that movie, eat some wings, some fries, AEs, drink, smoke. It's going to be a hell of a week, y'all. Pound that like button, subscribe. I love y'all. Bailey, you know what to do.
Issues get pressed so fast, you don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown, kill the ass around.